Mic check. All right, all right. Hi, welcome to the channel. I'm Jay, and this is our 2 cents, where we talk everything boxing, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. In today's live, we will be discussing Claressa Shields exposes Baumgaurdner. Dana White cannot tell the truth, and Tank lies continue. But before we do that, make sure you punch that like and subscribe button, and make sure you let me know and drop it below your 2 cents as we go throughout the live. Be sure to help support the channel by hitting the Cash App at $ 2 cents boxing, or letting me know and dropping it below your 2 cents in the super chat. Shout out to everybody that's joining me. Hold on. My bad, y'all. My daughter was in here making all kind of noise. Okay, so y'all be sure to help support the channel, man. Be sure to support the content creators, especially the ones that you like, that you enjoy. They give you authentic thoughts and opinions that can handle and control their emotions. that lets you speak your mind no matter what the opinion is. So I'm gonna let some more people pull up in here today. We got a very, very interesting show for y'all tonight. It's Friday, ladies' night, all women panel. Any ladies in the chat interested in coming up and talking this good boxing talk? The link is in the chat. I'm gonna try to pin it to the top. Anybody watching the fights right now? Because I don't got Paramount Plus. I sure don't. I sure do not. What's even on Paramount Plus? I really don't even watch TV though, to be honest with y'all. I can't tell y'all the last show I watched. Let me think. The last show I watched? I can't even remember. I don't be watching TV like that. It's very hard to keep my interest in like a series or a show. And even if I watch the show, maybe unless it's a really, really good show, by the third season, I'm done with it. I'm done with it. If I make it past, if it's just that good of a show. But usually I'll watch maybe 1, 2, 3 episodes of something. And if it don't like really just pique my interest like that, I just can't keep watching it. Like, it has to be a really, really good show. It can't be too slow. It can't be too fast. I don't know. I'm just picky like that. And the stuff that they, like the shows and movies, I feel like they coming out with now, they're not as good as they used to be when I was coming up. Now, I don't know if it's because I know a lot more things now. I'm knowledgeable about a lot more things. My perspectives about a lot of things are way different. Or if they really just not as good as writers as they used to be. And then they keep trying to make the same remake and bring out the same movies and concepts over and over and over. And it's like, think of something new, like be original. I don't need to see the Friday after next month. I don't want to see that. Let's be original. But I was like a psychological thriller person. Y'all put a one in the chat, you like psychological thriller type movies. Let's see what type of movies y'all be watching. What type of movies y'all be watching? I used to watch like The Screams. I Know What You Did Last Summer. That type of stuff. I don't know if my chat is frozen or what on my StreamYard. Let me pull up my YouTube channel because nobody is saying nothing. Okay, there we go. Somebody said they're a horror fan. I used to watch horror movies back in the day. I kind of got bored with them. And you know what? Horror started turning into gore. And I'm not really like a big gore person. Like I like the Saw movies, but I think it was Saw 3. And they had a scene where like somebody was tied up at the bottom of something and they was like running some hogs or something through somewhere. It was cutting them up and it was falling. I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm done with the Saw. Because after that, all the Saw series, they got too gory. I hate gory. Gory is not horror to me. It's just unnecessary. That's why I don't like zombie movies. I don't like zombie movies. It may be a few tasteful zombie movies that I like. I can't think of them off the top of my head right now, but I don't mess with zombie movies. It's too gory. I don't like that. I do not like that. Dragon say martial arts, horror, action, anime, suspense, and some comedy movies. Y'all know who movies like my favorite is Jim Carrey and the Pet Detective movies. Hilarious. Like I love all of Jim Carrey movies. Liar Liar, Me, Myself, and Irene. I love Jim Carrey. Even 21. I even like his serious movie. Mask. Man, I love Jim Carrey. But so let's get started. So we're gonna get started with Max Kellerman today. Here, I'm gonna start a series. Dumb-ish, Max Kellerman said. So here on this rendition of Dumb-ish, Max Kellerman said, I'm going to share, and Liar Liar is a classic of Darius Warren. When I tell you, like, I know every word of that movie by heart. Like, he did such a great job in that movie. I love Liar Liar. Like, who wrote this? Who thought of this? Hilarious movie. And I watch a lot of weird movies too. Like, probably stuff y'all never even heard of. I used to watch. But Max Kellerman. So we're gonna watch this with Max Kellerman. I haven't seen the whole thing. I just heard a clip, and I'm like, I'm gonna go pull it up, and then I want to react to it tonight on the show live with the two centers. So we're gonna pull it up. Welcome to another episode of Dumb-ish Max Kellerman is saying. Here we go. Let me find the video. Here we go. Da, 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 da. And I want y'all to let me know and drop it below your 2 cents as the video play. We're going to pause and do some commentary. Hopefully the ring don't copyright me. So y'all be sure to support the channel because I'm probably going to get copyrighted. All right, here we go.
Legacy right now? Ooh. Can he only add to his legacy, or can he also damage it?
Absolutely, Max. He could damage his legacy. I know people say, well, fighters off of their, past their prime. Let's be real. Roy Jones Jr. tarnished his legacy.
Okay, so the question was, can Canelo tarnish his legacy or only make it better? And you got this guy saying you can tarnish your legacy. 2 centers, what y'all think? Can you tarnish your legacy? Yes or no? Let me know. Yes or no? Can you tarnish your legacy? And the first person he said was Roy Jones Jr. People still talk like Roy Jones Jr. like he's a legend. So how the hell did he tarnish his legacy? What are you talking about? Even off the rip, that's dumb what you saying, in my opinion. I don't think AB tarnished his legacy. Him being a 4 division champion, the youngest to do it, is not going away. He moved up in weight to fight fights. That's what I'm saying. Y'all don't realize Adrian Broner had no business at 154 fighting Maidana. He shouldn't even be up there. Y'all Johnson bounce all the other fighters that move up in weight. But when fighters from PBC move up in weight, they get criticized. They not daring to be great. Trey Skills, that's not a shot at you. They know who that's a shot at. I get what you're saying though. Adrian Broner, one of my favorite fighters, but I do not like him. He is a scumbag. I don't like at first I was like, he just he cool, but nah, man. Adrian Broner. Nah, I can't rock with Adrian. So off the rip, he tripping. He said Roy Jones tarnished his legacy when everybody recognizes that Roy Jones is a damn legend. Why is he on the podcast? Why do people talk to him? Why he everybody list? Why does his name always come up when you talk boxing? Legends, the greatest to ever do it. And you're going to sit here and say he tarnished his legacy?
It's not fair to Roy necessarily, but when you have a whole generation of people who've only seen Roy getting brutally knocked out by guys like Denis Lebedev and the sort, it's not good. It's not good optics.
This is why. Can I tell a real quick story?
Go ahead.
I was my first HBO fight.
What does optics got to do? What does optics got to do with the man legacy? What are we talking about? Of course, you're gonna see a whole generation of people seeing the fighter get knocked out because they at the end of their careers. Just like you got people seeing Deontay Wilder getting his ass beat the hell up. That don't tarnish his legacy though. You knew who he was. He's one of the hardest hitting heavyweights. He had 3 big fights with Tyson Fury. He started boxing late. He was able to go to the Olympics. He was able to amass a whole bunch of money, become a star. And because he got beat up by Zhang and Parker, that tarnishes his legacy? No, it does not. We're not about to start this whole, I don't know what narrative they trying to start or push. But of course, fighters are going to lose at the end of their career. They're not going to win forever. They're not going to win forever.
I think I ever worked. It was Mayweather and Gaddy. And Roy was doing the announcing ringside, and I was up with, doing the desk, the podium, and from the host position. And I mentioned, someone talked about Roy, and I said he was damaged goods. Roy was so mad. I was like, I don't want Roy Jones mad at me. And I also love Roy. But he didn't like the way it came out, I understand. But what I told Roy, and I meant it at the time, I'm protecting your legacy. I don't want people to think that the Roy Jones who fought Glenn Koff Johnson was really Roy Jones.
Right.
Stop.
Yeah,
there was a clear mark after which, when he came back down from heavyweight, I don't look at any of that stuff.
That's true.
That wasn't Roy.
Yeah,
Roy was before he came back down to heavyweight, right? So that's what I'm saying about Canelo.
Yes.
We see he is not the
Max. And I gotta go here. And I'm only going here to make a point, and I'm using Max's logic here. Max said he only said that Roy Jones was damaged goods because he didn't want to ruin his legacy. Put a 1 in the chat if you think I'm understanding that correctly. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go back. We're gonna listen to it one more time.
I don't look at any of that stuff.
That's true.
That wasn't Roy. Roy was before he came back down to heavyweight, right? So that's what
that's true.
After which, when really Roy Jones, think that the Roy Jones protecting the way it came out, I understand. But what I told Roy, and I meant it at the time, I'm protecting your legacy. I don't want people to think that the Roy Jones who fought Glenn Koff Johnson was really Roy Jones.
Right.
Stop. There was a clear mark after which, when he came back down from heavyweight, I don't look at any of that stuff.
Okay, so Max, my question to you is, are you going to protect Earl Spence's legacy? I'm just using your logic, Max. Are you going to protect Earl Spence's legacy? Are you going to say Earl Spence was damaged goods by the time Terence Crawford fought him, Max? I'm just, because every time we try to bring it up, it's, you're making excuses. But now, all of a sudden, anything from Roy Jones from heavyweight, that when he went back down to heavyweight, you don't look at that because you know that wasn't the Roy Jones that he was when he was Roy Jones. But we're not going to give Earl Spence that same thought, logic, and respect like you giving to Roy Jones, Max? Because see, what Max is doing is completely taking both of his feet and stuffing them in his mouth. Wait, there's more. That's true.
That wasn't Roy. Roy was before he came back down to heavyweight, right? So that's what I'm saying about Canelo. We see he is not the same.
Yeah.
So if he loses, come on, guys.
So y'all ain't see Earl wasn't the same after multiple car accidents? Being at the weight class too. Come on, Max.
But if he accomplishes more, what it says is he was so great at his best, he's still able to do this.
Yeah, it's all gravy years. I mean, see a guy, he's an 11-time world champion across 4 different weight classes. Of course, he's going to go into like I said, like the Boxing Hall of Fame. I mean, all these different things that he's already achieved, everything right now is gravy. But he can't hurt his legacy if he tries to stay around too long.
Because it's the image that people remember.
Of course.
Let me ask you a question.
Did y'all hear all the accolades they just mentioned about this guy? And they're saying if he stays around too long, he's going to ruin his legacy. How is he going to ruin everything he's already accomplished? Now, that's their 2 cents. I'm just saying, like, I don't understand that. I don't get that. To me as a fan, as a casual, just because you're getting beat up at the end of your career, I'm not gonna be like, oh, 4 different weight class, 11 championships. Like, come on, man. Even if Terrence Crawford came back and fought and lost his next 3 fights, that's not going to ruin his legacy. Nobody's going to be able to take away the fact that he was 3-time undisputed. Now, we could probably confirm that he ain't fight no goddamn body, but you can't take away his accomplishments. Nobody else has ever done that. So you can't say because he lost fights, no, he did it. Losing a fight does not take away from anything you've already done. Like, why do people do that in boxing? In my opinion.
Talk to me, brother.
When Roy started losing and how it went, did you think it affected his legacy? Roy Jones Jr.? You know, the guy
We
that...
don't want to continue seeing Superman get killed over and over.
So, but I'm saying, but did it affect your opinion of Roy? Because to me, it didn't, though.
It didn't.
I mean, not so much because I still remember the Roy that we all fell in love with. I've been to plenty of his fights. I understood.
So what?
His whole process.
What are you talking about then? Then you don't even agree. What are you even talking about? Andre, what are you talking about? You literally just said it didn't ruin his legacy for you. The guy on the left? Yeah. J-Man say, and they wonder why boxing ass nowadays. Fighters not allowed to lose and have a bad night. That's what I'm saying. This they're arguing. The fact that you're even arguing about Roy Jones and his legacy, that alone says what? Because of his, like, Roy Jones is a legend. Who is Roy? When you talk about Roy Jones, all you say is, man, he shouldn't have never went up to heavyweight and came back down. Everybody know that was a bad decision and it changed the trajectory of his career, but the shit was probably going to eventually change anyway, because the older he got, the less he could rely on his reflexes, and that's the type of fighter he was. So eventually he was going to start losing. Oh my God. Tell Cadence to chill out. Eventually he was going to start losing. At this point, all these major media talking heads are just saying anything they think will get traction. Well, we about to give them some traction.
I mean, it still hasn't affected me heavy at that point, but it was just sad to see.
It was sad.
Mike is the only person I will allow to say anything about Roy.
Who?
Mike.
Okay.
Because anywhere else I'm punching in the face. Roy was like Superman, though.
Yes,
and
right.
at his best.
Yes.
There's nobody touching
I'll give you
him.
an angle you're not considering, though.
Okay.
So when Muhammad Ali was at his best, I just said this when Muhammad Ali was at his best, he was, to that point in history, the goodest heavyweight anyone had ever seen.
Goodest?
He was so good that even Sonny Liston, when Ali couldn't see,
Did this dude just say the goodest?
because the liniment in his eyes, couldn't do anything with him. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
He was so good, you didn't know how great he was.
Okay.
Because greatness is something else.
Right.
Yeah.
Then he came back after he was exiled and he was slowed down. Now we found out, oh, pardon me, the goodest heavyweight ever is also the greatest heavyweight ever.
Okay.
Roy was the goodest fighter, any weight class of all time.
Of all time.
No one, in terms of excellence achieved, no one ever achieved what Roy achieved. He hit the highest heights. However, when it comes to proving greatness after the fact, had Roy rallied in the third Tarver fight and won a decision, instead of not taking the risks to win a decision, maybe because he knew Tarver could punch, whatever that is, then it's not like I take credit away from Roy, but he would have gotten even more had he rallied to win that fight.
But hold up. Look how long Roy was on top.
Yeah, but you have to, he was so good. Roy was so good that his greatness in terms of the internal stuff never had a chance to be illuminated because no one could test him.
I'm not on. I'll say I'm just going to stick to the question. The question, I'm going to let you go.
Yes.
I think, for me, it won't hurt Canelo's legacy, right? I've seen Canelo do a lot of great things. I've seen him.
What are they talking about, bro? We need to get to, you have no losses. You need to step up your competition. Then not even a draw. That's what I'm saying. Like, you step up your competition, you have a tough fight with somebody. Oh, you a hype guy, you in the blah, blah. Like, what do y'all want, man? Like, y'all, Max Kellerman, this man right here is looking at them like, what the hell are y'all even talking about? How did Roy Jones ruin his legacy? You can't ruin your legacy. It's already done. You can't take away the things I've already achieved and accomplished.
Be the smaller guy and boxing these guys, and then now I'm these bigger dudes, I'm chasing them down. I've seen the stuff that he's done. I can't take that away from Canelo. If he loses a fight to somebody that's not as good as him.
You still don't want to see him stay around too long, man. Because like I said, I mean, the thing with Roy, I mean, I'm not counting anything after.
But that's boxing though, right? Dre, that's boxing.
Huh? Yeah.
So wait, okay, so real quick.
But this pride and ego in his boxing game.
He got
this pride and ego in his boxing game.
He started losing fights. Let's start going. Tyson, he started losing fights. All these great dudes y'all want to talk about.
Yeah, like on the back end.
But they all, and they lose.
Joe Lewis wound up in professional wrestling. I mean, that
they all end up losing. That's what I'm telling you. All great fighters fight until they lose. All the great fighters got losses. I ain't talking about the new age. I'm going to be strategic and wait and bounce around and fight 5 fights for 13 belts. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about the old school fighters. The ones we say is great.
And back then, it wasn't a cool, fun thing to do. It was like an embarrassment, right? That's what happens to fighters when they get older, especially. And this is not Canelo's case, but you run through the money, and you do what you can for money.
Yeah. Look, I think there are two different things we're talking about here. And I think the answer to that is, I think about now the said, Kelzak
keep the image of the Roy that I.
But Durant on points, and then he avenged that loss twice by knockout.
I'm trying to find this one.
Leonard's prime
and
cement Benitez.
Yeah.
Benitez you could lose to. Kirkland Lang you can't lose to. It's so great. Middle, see, you're like
it's more.
Durant after had a lot in him. You will hold it against.
Put a stay in it.
I have another angle.
What's
on this. If Canelo looks bad, like really bad.
Okay.
All right, here we go. This the dumb shit right here. Let me pause it because it's music.
So much.
Crawford out.
No, it hurts Crawford's legacy.
No, it don't. No, it don't.
Legacy so much bad.
Damn.
Like really bad.
Okay.
Y'all support y'all make sure y'all help support the channel because they finna demonetize me for this music.
Doesn't hurt his legacy so much.
It helps Bud Crawford out.
No, it hurts Crawford's legacy.
No, it don't. No, it don't.
No, it don't. No, it don't.
Wait a minute. Wait, no one's a bigger Bud Crawford fan than me, right? I love Bud Crawford.
But
guys,
how?
Because Crawford's most signature win on the biggest stage, pound for pound, the whole thing was against Canelo.
Okay.
Now, you might make the argument, well, Crawford beat the fight out of Canelo. However,
Canelo was the favorite going into that fight.
But he was trending down. And if it looks like he was past his prime when he fought Crawford, because the very next fight he looks terrible, people will point like Mike Coppinger.
Do that.
Haters like Coppinger will use it against him.
I never do that. I never do that for one good reason. Because I picked Canelo, I don't like to take credit after the fact.
I see. Okay.
So I would never go on that.
Okay.
So somebody get this. Just kick him out the chat. Somebody time this dude out because I don't even know what he's talking about. Hold on, y'all. Let me pull up my thing on YouTube. Get these idiots out the chat. Oh, man, I ain't got the both views up today? Damn, I forgot to do it. It ain't do it automatically? All right, he out the chat. Let me get this, put this in here so I can pin it. See, soon as Bud about to get, soon as Max Kellerman put his foot in his mouth. Max Kellerman did that. Hold on, y'all. Let me paste this link for the ladies. There we go. Ladies, the link is pinned to the top of the chat. We're not doing disrespect this year. We're not doing none of that because it's unnecessary. This is a high IQ platform, in case y'all didn't know. Hold on. All right, so let me run it back for y'all. Can somebody tell me if Max Kellerman is not only confirming what I've been saying, which is that Terrence Crawford don't fight. Damn, hold on. Why this thing still up there? Which is Terrence Crawford do not fight people in their prime. So in this episode, Max Kellerman has said that you should take into consideration that a fighter is not the same fighter anymore. Like he said, anything after when Roy Jones came back down from heavyweight, he don't count that. And he said on broadcast that Roy Jones was damaged goods when he fought somebody because he wanted to protect his legacy. And like I said earlier, if we apply that same logic to Earl the True Spence Jr., it's the same thing. We can apply the same logic. We can say, oh, we're not going to count nothing after Earl 5,000 car accidents and being at the weight class too long. We're not going to count nothing from that time down. And then you backdoor and say, if Canelo looks bad in his next fight, it's going to look bad on Crawford's legacy because they're going to say that Canelo was old, past his prime, all this other stuff. So are you telling me that Terrence Crawford's his two best wins, are fighters that people are saying? You're saying if Canelo looks bad in his next fight, it'll mess up his legacy. Earl Spence hasn't even fought again yet. People say he retired. I'm saying this is Max Kellerman's logic. See, the problem is y'all don't want to apply the logic when it don't go by what you want it to go to. That's the problem. But this is Max Kellerman's logic. This is what he's saying. He said that if Canelo looks bad in his next fight, that's going to tarnish Crawford's legacy because people are going to recognize. They're not going to say, they're going to recognize that Canelo was way past his prime and all this other stuff. And he was done. This is what Max Kellerman is saying. Argue with him. And this tank fan shit y'all keep doing, that shit is annoying too, just to let y'all know. Man, if they don't he beat the hell out of Canelo, now he might not be the same guys. He did not beat the hell out of Canelo. This shit is ridiculous. So Terrence Crawford beat the hell. Now he's not even gonna be the same. That's even worse for your argument. Nah, Max, you saying it. Bro, you fighting like that prime. Man, don't nobody care if Terrence come out of retirement. Put a one in the chat if y'all waiting on Terrence to come out of retirement. Put a one. Honestly, I don't care if I ever see Terrence Crawford fight again, be honest with y'all. But y'all put a one. Hannibal. Okay. Who else? Bud is retired, Hannibal. Bud was the face of boxing for 2.5 weeks. Bud was the face of boxing for 2.5 weeks. Shout out Key with the T in the building.
Hey, Queen, how are you?
What up? What up? So I just want to play that real quick, y'all, because it just proved everything that I've been saying. And
What was it?
Max Kellerman, I did like a little live review of the Ring Show, and Max Kellerman was basically saying that it was a whole thing about if can you ruin your legacy, right? And Max Kellerman was saying they were trying to say Roy Jones ruined his legacy because he went up to heavyweight and then he went back down and started getting beat up. And my point was you can't ruin your legacy because what you've already done is done. And I said,
Yeah, it's already solidified.
Roy Jones is a legend. Like, what are you talking about? You talking about him right now. So how did he ruin his legacy? And so I was trying to make the point that, you want to say that that Roy wasn't the same when he came back down from heavyweight, then we need to give that same logic to Earl Spence when he fought Terrence Crawford, because he wasn't the same when he fought Terrence Crawford, and he had been in like 30 accidents. He stayed at the weight class too long. But when you try to bring that up, people want to act like it's excuses and they don't want to acknowledge it. So that was one point I was trying to make. And then he was saying that if Canelo has his next fight, he doesn't look good, then that's going to mess up Terrence Crawford's legacy, because people are going to say Canelo was past his prime and he wasn't the same and all of that. And I was making the point that Max Kellerman is only confirming what I've been saying, is that Terrence Crawford's 2 best wins is fighters that wasn't the same and out of their prime. And then this guy right here, I'm not sharing my screen no more. And then this guy right here is trying to say, oh, Terrence Crawford beat the hell out of Canelo. That's why he's not the same. So
what's his name? The football player. That's
something McCoy, I think. And J-Man saying Canelo been not the same. And that's my whole point, J-Man. Everybody know that Terrence Crawford was not fighting Canelo in no prime. I mean, he went up 2 weight classes to fight him. So I guess you want for that you can. But other than that, I mean, what do we like? So anyway, that was my whole point that I was trying to make, that I've been saying this all along, and Max Kellerman just confirmed it. Travis
McCoy, he always
and people talking about Bud don't need to come back unless he get 100 million. I mean, who cares I don't care if Bud come back, and what the hell has Bud ever done to get $100 million in a fight? Nothing. So who he gonna fight? If he just gonna come back and fight, who is Bud gonna? He's the best fighter in the universe. Who he gonna fight?
They're saying that he'll be announcing his unretirement later on this year. And that is true. He does want a substantial amount of money for the rematch with Canelo. I do know that. That was discussed. So I'm not sure who he matches.
Who cares? Do y'all want to see Bud fight Canelo again? He just said,
but it has to be Canelo. It has to be Canelo. It won't, unless it's like a David Benavidez or a Jake Paul. There's really nobody up there at the top outside of Canelo. Like Canelo really shut it down for the past couple years up there at that division. So I'm talking about financially wise. So I mean, what unless he go against? I can't see him getting in there with Baturviev or Baval. Um, who he gonna fight? Adames, Adames
Hannibal,
or
my bad, Key.
or
Do you know you don't deserve 100 million? You don't deserve 100 million, bro. That's not how business works. Business don't pay you what you deserve. That's not. You know how much I think I deserve for doing this YouTube channel? You think they pay me what I deserve, or do they pay me what I earn? Do they pay me what the numbers say? Like y'all gotta grow up with this. Y'all ever did big? Like what do y'all do for work? What Hannibal? What you do for work? I'm curious. Do they pay you what? Do they pay you what you deserve at your job, Hannibal?
or they can do shoot. Who would command that? Maybe nah, not Charlo. They too
Nobody, because
inconsistent.
nobody really worth no 100 million, doing none of them getting no $100 million for
Well,
them.
if the rumor is true that he's going to be on retiring this year or early next year, the only person I could think of is a rematch with Canelo. That's the only one.
But he beat the hell out of Canelo, Key. So
Well, they said Canelo wants his get back. So
okay, Canelo, won't y'all get back? Okay, so Key, I'm glad you're here. We about to switch gears here
what's up?
to everybody's favorite fighter. Hold on, because they're gonna love this.
Oh Lord Jesus, please no, no,
You don't even know what
no.
it is yet.
I'm scared. Hey, Big Supreme. Hey, Slogan. Hey, Dragon Assassin. I forgot to say hi to you in the chat. Hey, J Man. Hey, Too Rich.
Did you see what I tagged you in the Discord, Key?
Let me see.
Girl,
When did you tag me in it? Dang it. 2 cents.
about a couple hours ago, maybe about 2 hours ago. I don't know,
Was
Key.
it about, was it? Oh, Lord Jesus. Yes. The Papoose freestyling. Why? Why 2 cents?
You didn't like it?
I mean, but first of all, Papoose is always going to be like Papoose, like lyrically, I always felt like Papoose was kind of slept on. You know what I'm saying? Because so many people liked Fabulous. You know what I'm saying? And other New York rappers. I always like Papoose wordplay. You definitely hear who's writing her rhymes when she does write. That's 100% Papoose. Okay. Um,
That's cool. I like that. That's good. That might work for them.
I mean, hey Paid, hey Mr. Greg. But the thing is, 2 cents. Okay, do you think he's doing to? You know what? I'm gonna be quiet. Let me see where you trying to cause I have my reservations. Go ahead, two
I
cents.
mean, he's confessing his love in front of everybody. She was just sitting there just blushing. If she like it, I love it. But so this is a video of Claressa T. Rex Shields. We about to react to it. We're gonna talk about what she has to say. First of all, I want to say I think this is a very good look for her. But it's like she always gotta mess up her outfit with some gaudy shit. Like she had like some fur over this with the big fur hat. You seen that, Key?
Yes, I did. Yes, I
I'm
did. You
like,
see,
why?
wait. First of all, how they came in riding. What was that? A Rolls Royce? That bad boy was nice.
I mean, I like this for her. I really do. She always just be so soulful and just mess up the outfit. But this right here, I think is a good look for her. I like her hair. She got her chains on. I think
Yeah, she looks pretty, but Clarissa's not a bad. Like she's always been real pretty to me. She's never been a bad looking girl or anything.
it's just her style. Like I remember at one point she had got a stylist, and I was like, yes, like finally
No,
she
I
got.
remember them wig. It was her wigs for me, sis. Her wigs. I
Yeah.
used to be like, man, who gonna do her and French Discern, who she finna fight? Oh my god, sometimes her wig be like, girl, come on. I know y'all fighters and everything, but come on, I need y'all to pull it together. But
But
today
this
they
time
both
she looking like she just take the pack out and put it on her
put
head.
it on the head. Don't brush it out. You feel me? Just you, you know what I'm saying? Like, and but before they put it on their head, they look like they shake it a little bit. and then put it on there because it be just sometimes, oh my God, it just be everywhere. Like, and I don't even know how to lay like flay wigs
I
like
just
my
gonna say
sister
I
do.
don't even wear wigs, so I don't know.
Yeah, my sister knows how to do all that, but even I will make sure that come on now. But I love the look that she had on today. I would not have went with that big hat, but as y'all know, we are being hit with all kind of negative degree weather right now. Which is
Oh
messing up my
yeah,
connection. So I think that's why she had that on.
and speaking of weather, y'all, listen. We gonna have a snow day Monday. It's about to get cold out here in the H. When it get cold out here, ice on the roads, they shut the city down. We don't play that because we don't got snow tires and all that. We don't know how to drive on ice and snow. We don't do none of that. So if my electricity stay on and my connection stay good, I'll probably be going live the next couple of days because we're gonna have some snow days. I spent all day preparing for the storm, grocery shopping, getting gas, last minute laundry, and then they just told us like yesterday, like we had 48 hours to prepare. I'm like, y'all should have been saying this like all week. Why would y'all wait till the last minute? So now I'm in the store. It's standing room only, damn near. Y'all know all the water gone, all the bread gone. Like, oh my goodness.
That
But
is crazy. We so used to it up here. It's like another day for us.
heck
Like for
no.
real, for real. The only thing we just make sure I always make sure I have is the basics, which I stock up on that throughout the whole year anyway. But it's so girl. But
It was 70 degrees today, Key.
I know I'm jealous of y'all. I'm very jealous. Even in Florida, it's beautiful right now. But we go through this every year, y'all. Every year, every
I,
season. Hey, Richard Paris.
here
I
we
mean,
go.
but do you think because a lot of people are complaining about Clarissa in this fight, like, do you think that that she mm,
I'm gonna give you my two
do you
cents
think
about
it's
the
time
fight,
for
right?
Clarissa to branch out, or do you think that
She
she
tried
knows
to
her
branch out as
audience,
far as what?
like fight somewhere else,
Like where?
like Texas or Vegas or something like that, or do
I
you
mean,
think she's gonna
maybe
stay with
not
her
yet.
niche?
She just should stay where she sells at right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, like I don't think she should branch out just yet. Not yet. But she's getting bigger now. It's probably almost time for her to maybe another fight or two. Cause she's viral damn near every single day. Like that shit is wild to me. Um, Let me play the video. Here we go.
No, it ain't. It's a 90-10. Of course, my last one is Alicia Baumgaurdner. No, it ain't. It's a 90-10. Of course, my last one is Alicia Baumgaurdner, Dubois. Alicia Baumgaurdner, Dubois. And Caroline Dubois. Yes. What do you think about that fight? Just as a purist boxing fan. As a purist boxing fan, I don't think Alicia got enough fight in her to actually go against a dog like Caroline Boyce. You know, it's crazy. She want to skip 4 or 5 different weight classes. She want to fight me and all this stuff. She knocked me out, blah blah blah. But then as soon as a girl who's 5 pounds bigger than you call you out, now she's a puppy. You don't want to fight against her. Like I think Caroline Boyce would beat Alicia Baumgartner ass.
Now, I agree. I think the boy beat Baumgartner, and I do think Baumgartner ducking it. Key, did you see that live? Is Key gone? Oh, Key, you here? Key, did you see that live that Baumgartner did?
Which one? Where she said for Carolyn to get her weight up or something like that?
Yeah, like you a little puppy that doing all that with her hands and shit.
Yeah.
I'm a
Yeah, I
big
saw that.
dog.
I think yeah, she wants Carolyn to do more in the sport, I guess. I Okay, so for me, what I've seen with Alicia Baumgartner in her last fight, I like the technical moves that she's doing. That's a very interesting fight to me, like quite honestly. But if I'm Alicia, I will get Carolyn Dubois now. Like try to get her out the way
I don't
now.
think you can fight with her.
Because
Why
the
would she
more
wait?
that Carolyn Dubois, exactly, because how many, let me see something. Let me see how many fights do Carolyn Dubois have? Because if I'm Alicia, like, man, because Carolyn's gonna be a problem. She gonna mess around and be like Gabby Fundora in a minute, where shoot, ain't nobody seeing her either. Gabby can reign in that division for a very long time.
And I would love to see that fight. Actually, I end up hitting them Nikisa and I said, hey man, I see all this chatter going around. When I get to the fight with French on, how about me and Shade should go at a main event, and then a co-main event we have Alicia Baumgaurdner versus Caroline Du Bois. I think that'd be the female fight card of the year.
There she goes. She said she gonna fight Shadesha. There y'all go. But I don't really understand like what is like everybody Shadesha Green is not even that good to me. She's a decent fighter. She got some pop, but she's not that good of a fighter to me. But I mean, I think Claressa Shields is gonna fight her. I don't think she's ducking her. I know everybody feels some type of way because she's not fighting her next, but like, why is it that people don't understand? If Claressa Shields got an $8 million deal and Shardesha Green is gonna be a big fight for her, why would she fight her at the beginning of the deal, at the contract? Why would she fight her right now? I'm gonna fight Franchon Cruz. I'm finna fight my partner. We finna make some bread together. When men do that, it's cool. But now Claressa doing it, it's a problem. I don't get it.
Yeah, I think so. Some people think Alicia is ducking because
she is.
Is she? Hey, Dimitri,
I just asked something. Been a clickbait fighter. That's for real. She's been using Lewis's name.
She has.
And for years.
Yeah.
We've reached out. I called her manager. I called her promoter back then. And it was unrealistic.
So in case y'all didn't hear what he said they called Baumgaurdner. They called up the promoters. They called up the people. They tried to make the fight. She outpriced herself out of the fight. I mean, she outpriced herself out of the fight. She said she wanted the fight. Claressa tried to hit her up to make the fight. She outpriced herself out of the fight. So all these people that keep saying, Claressa need to go down. Claressa need to go down. She need to go down. Come on, man.
Who are you talking about?
Down to 153, was it?
Well, he just what's this dude name? Her manager. He just said that they tried to send an offer to Baumgaurdner and she outpriced herself.
Oh, okay. Okay, that would make sense though.
Du Bois, because Caroline want to fight Baumgaurdner. Alicia, she been trying to fight her, and Alicia.
Oh, well, you know what, Caroline Dubois
clapping her hands. I'm gonna see it. Rich, after this video, I'm gonna see if I can find that video. Was she in there clapping her hands and rubbing her hands together, talking about you a puppy? You got to do this and get your weight up and blah blah blah. I ain't never seen Baumgaurdner do that to nobody. She ain't like she ready to just step in the ring with anybody, fight anybody at any time.
You know what?
How was her manager supposed to say that, Paige? Nobody asked him that. He volunteered that information. He didn't have to say nothing.
Caroline Dubois do have is
so Claressa just can't do nothing.
You know, Carolyn is 12-0. 12-0. She's 12-0. So, yeah. Man, that's a good. Hey, salute to D1, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to his channel. I think that
shout out to D1 with the $2 in the Cash App. Shout out D1.
I think Alicia. Okay, so man, would you if you were in Alicia's shoes, would you fight Caroline Dubois? 2 cents.
Hold on, I'm trying to see what Richard talking about. Richard, what are you talking about? I know all the stuff you talking about. I saw it live, but when Tank does the same shit, I ain't hear you say Tank ducking. Keep it consistent. I'm gonna keep it whatever I'm saying. So I don't know what you're talking about, but different situations are different. We're talking about women's boxing. How many women is it for you to fight? That's competitive fights, Rich. What are we talking about? The men and the women are different. Ain't that what y'all tell me? She got
I'm
12
trying to get the
fights. That's a lot of
comparison.
fights in the women. That's a lot of fights in the women division. So Caroline been calling out Alicia. Alicia acting like she don't want to fight. She all on the video talking about get your weight up. Claressa said they sent her a contract. She didn't want the contract. She outpriced herself. So what are we talking about?
I guess I'm okay. I'm rereading his comment. I'm trying to get the comparison. So I think he's saying when Tank says he's not going to fight somebody, we don't say that they're ducking. I don't know. Girls,
You breaking up, Key?
okay. Hear me?
Nah, you breaking up. You be cool, then you start breaking up.
Hold on.
Shout out to SBG Mello with the $2 in the super chat. He says 2 cents in Key. Shout out to the chat. Shout out SBG Mello. Here we go. We got Key back. Key.
Okay.
Wherever you at, don't move. Just stay there.
This is perfect. This is good. Stop.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's good.
Okay. Hey, Mello. Okay, so is he saying that when Tank say that he's not fighting a fighter, nobody says anything, but then we got to keep it. So the same energy needs to be applied to Alicia Baumgaurdner. Is that what he's saying?
I don't know. I don't even really call people ducks for real, so I don't even know what he's talking about. But I'm just saying that as far as the Claressa Shields thing go though, if I send you an offer and then you just like outpricing yourself after you've been calling me out and doing all that, I feel like that's a duck. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me. That's just my 2 cents.
53 or 54.
Hey, so let me play.
And she wanted to do it like.
Go ahead, Key. Did she fall off again? No, Key, you know?
Like 140 something. So it's like Terrence Crawford. Well, that's not a good example.
Well, that's like making Canelo come down to Terrence Crawford weight class 154 from 168.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like Terrence Crawford fighting Anthony Joshua, but we can only fight at 168 pounds. It's impossible to begin with. So it's
and they wanted her to go to a crazy weight.
So just to create drama.
Really?
And like Claressa said, Caroline Dubois and her is a great fight. So let's see.
Make it happen.
Claressa always fought the best.
Always. My different weight classes.
Claressa, you've always, like, even though you guys haven't always got along, you've always offered Gervonta Davis good advice. Try to send him well wishes, even when it hasn't been the best between you. He's going through a tough time. Any message or any words for Gervonta?
I don't even want to talk about it. I honestly just feel bad for him. I wish that his people would have got him help before it got to where it is now, but I just wish him well, and I've been praying for him, and hopefully his situation don't get no worse than this. You know what I mean?
And that's why I asked you, because every time I've asked you in the past, even when it hasn't been good between you, you've always said that. Like, I just hope he gets help. I hope he gets himself together.
Yeah, and Mike Tyson had to get sat down for 3 years for something that he did or didn't do, however it went. I think that sometimes it takes us to have to be held accountable, and maybe if he sit down for a year and really have to look within himself and find himself, maybe he can, you know what I'm saying, become better, because he's a hell of a fighter, right? So I don't really got nothing bad to say about him, you know what I'm saying? I really do wish him the best, and praying for him and his family and stuff.
Thank you, champ.
Thank you, champ.
Thank you. This kind lady was waiting to see if you could sign this.
I think she got a crush on Tank, y'all. Not like she want to be with him or nothing, but she has a real affinity for him. Soon as they asked about Tank, she took a deep breath. Y'all seen that? Let me see. Let me rewind it. I think she got a little crush on Tank.
Right. So I don't really got nothing bad to say about him, you know. And you know, Mike Tyson had to get, and I just wish him well.
Tough time. Any message? Try to like, even though you.
Right, watch her body language.
Claressa, you've always, like, even though you guys haven't always got along, you've always offered Gervonta Davis good advice. Try to send him well wishes, even when it hasn't been the best between you. He's going through a tough time. Any message?
Hilarious. But anyway, I just wanted to play that real quick. Her manager coming on here. They accuse Alicia Baumgaurdner of ducking, say they wanted these unrealistic demands, weight classes, and money for the fight. Okay. She's like, hey, I tried to fight you, and you still in the media like woo, 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 like I tried to, you know what I'm saying?
What?
Go fight Caroline. You trying to jump up here to fight me?
Well, can I say this? Let me play devil's advocate. Can you hear me, 2 cents? Yeah, I'm sorry. This storm, this winter got my internet acting all kind of crazy. Salute to the beautiful Queen Jude. But let me play devil's advocate, right? So one thing I will say is that Claressa did raise all that money to fight Layla Alina. And now all of a sudden, you know, like, so if I'm Alicia Baumgaurdner, I'm like, wait a minute. If you can come up with, how much was it, like 15 million or something like that, or 5 million to fight Layla Ali, you could, you know what I'm saying? Like you could write that check to me.
Girl,
right?
You are not Layla Ali.
Oh, come on. I'm just saying, like, but we can't deny that Alicia Baumgaurdner versus Claressa Shields is not a big fight as well, though. Like both of those fights they will make their return on their investment, in my opinion.
I just think she's too small, honestly. It's gonna look like Conor Ben and Chris Eubank.
Yeah, that is true.
Shout out to Duke on the camera.
Good evening, ladies. How are y'all?
What's going on?
Not much. Just catching up with y'all. I have been dealing with. I'm never getting another iPhone again. I'm having phone issues, so I've been.
Dude, me too. Is yours going in and out as well?
It's been acting a fool, and now it's saying it can't recover my iPhone. I'm like, oh my god, my data may be backed up. So I'm just like going back and forth with these people. But whatever. I said I'm trying to take my mind off of it because I know I will stress out. So let it go. I know one thing. I get one more issue. I'm going back to the flip phone. Remember the Motorola's? I'm one bad.
Yep. I'm going back to Nokia.
The Nokia flip phone, the ones you can slam up in somebody's face, like pack, like the ones the fat ones.
Yeah.
Not even a razor. I'm sick of it. Anywho, I'm listening to y'all cook. And when it comes to Claressa, by the way, she looks amazing. I love the braids on her. She looks amazing. I think I hear what she's saying. I've never loved the Baumgaurdner fight for her. It just don't make sense to me. Because if you think about it, Baumgaurdner's 130, right? Claressa, like this fight would literally be like, and actually it's even worse now. Actually, yeah, at this point it's like Jai Opetaia. No, I can't even say Jai Opetaia because he's cruiserweight. Fine, who's that? It's like Benavidez. And if you put the equivalent of men and women's boxing, it would be Benavidez versus like O'Shaquie Foster or Lamar. That's literally what the equivalent is in men's boxing. It's stupid. And I think the only reason we're okay with it and we're like, oh, well, you know, I do know Claressa can come down, but Claressa is technically a heavyweight right now, right? And she fought a super middleweight and all that. The weight she's fighting at versus the weight that Baumgaurdner's fighting at is literally Benavidez versus O'Shaquie Foster, and that no one would ever consider that in men's boxing. So I don't understand why we consider it in women's boxing. Yes, women have more body fat, but it's also harder for them to cut as much because she's
exactly, and she in her 30s.
If she's in her 30s now, does she look a little thicker than normal? Yes. Can I think she can cut some weight? Yes, but down to 130, absolutely not. I think I think she can probably get back to middleweight, 168. But anything below that, I think she's still in dangerous territory.
She could maybe get to 160.
154, maybe, but I don't know. Maybe I think because she's been carrying this weight for so long now. I don't know. I just know as women, we require more body fat. Just the way our bodies function, we just require more of it. You can't just be cutting stuff all off. It's just your body ain't gonna work the same way. You're gonna fatigue yourself. And so that fight with Baumgaurdner, to me, was always dumb. I never liked it. No one would ever say, go down and fight Lamar Roach, because that's the size difference. That's literally the size difference.
Lamar Roach. Shout out Mr. Greg with the $5 in the super chat. He says Claressa needs a few endorsement deals and some crossover appeal. Where are her image PR people? You know what, Mr. Greg? These fighters have publicists and PR people. Did you know that? Did you know Terrence Crawford had a publicist and a PR person? Do you know Shakur Stevenson has a publicist and a PR person? In my opinion, they're the ones that are encouraging them to do this, be contradicting and do all, that's me personally. That's just my 2 cents is what I think. Because I don't feel like Shakur Stevenson is as unintelligent as he he makes himself appear in the public by contradicting himself like that. Me personally, I don't believe he's really like that. I think he does it on purpose.
But I think her PR person is Papoose, right?
I mean, I guess he is now. So, I mean, I think she'll get a lot more stuff coming her way, you know. I know everybody like, oh, her image is so bad, but I mean,
everybody still watch her.
That will pass.
I think also that she's felt the need, and I mean, again, not the need, but maybe she's felt like she might feel that mantra of no
publicity. But
bad publicity is still good publicity, or there's no such thing as bad publicity. Because I will say, and it's unfortunate because I've been watching Claressa for a long time. I remember the very first pay-per-view I bought, a women's pay-per-view I've ever bought, was when she did the if y'all remember, it was during the pandemic.
Yep,
she did all women's pay-per-view during the pandemic, and I proudly bought it. I was so happy. She had heavyweights on there. I was like, she's the first. I was like, oh my gosh, she made history. I was so proud of her. Her name wasn't as popping in the more in the casual crowd then, but I knew who she was, and that was fine with me. But to break that wall, maybe she feels like she needs to be more aligned with some drama, which is
because they don't even say that about her. They just act like she ain't did nothing. She is not she's not a pioneer.
I've loved Claressa, and I said I really like what I'm saying because I'm a boxing fan. I really like everybody. Like I can love Layla and all the old gals and still love me some Claressa. Love her down. I never get buying that pay-per-view. The minute I heard, I'm like, I'm buying that ASAP. I don't care. I don't care who on it, because I want to support women's boxing. And she carried that card, and she got a lot of women paid. And so I respect her for that.
And they want to act like Jake Paul, the only person to ever do it.
Yeah, she was the first before Jake Paul. That's why I say people like Jake Paul. Jake Paul's doing good, but she made those inroads first. She kicked that wall down, and I will always give her credit for that.
And she
he has his own notoriety and everything that he's able to, people get to bounce off of. But she did it out the mud, and she did the first women's pay-per-view well before Jake Paul came around. And that's something people forget. So I'll make sure people remember that.
So make sure they remember I had to do a video on that, because
that was a good card. I enjoyed that card. There was a lady on that card who I think she had just had a baby, and it's like a little Latina baby. She was fighting her heart out, and every time she just had that baby, I'm like, oh my God, you come right for a baby, man. She fought that little heart out and won. I was in there screaming, and we couldn't go nowhere anyway with the pandemic, But I remember like yesterday.
Oh, was that the Savannah Marshall card? No, that was in UK.
No, this was I think was in the US. This was this is way, but this I'm talking about during the pandemic. It was like when everybody was on lockdown then, and she did a pay-per-view card, all women's pay-per-view card. It was like This was before there was an MVP promotions. It was way before. Look it up. Let me find out who she fought. It was well before Jake Paul had really started doing these big events and had the Netflix. It was way before Netflix got involved. It may have actually. It was before Showtime. Showtime was still around. This was like I'm talking about 2020, 2021. And she did a pay-per-view, and it was like a small little thing, but I was like, okay, you did it, and I remember buying it because I was like really going hard for her then. But I'm still am. The drama I don't like, but at the same time, I get why she doesn't shy away from it. Because it sucks that drama gets people attracted. Even in boxing, YouTube boxing, people tend to gravitate to drama more than like I'm in love. I've been really enjoying the discussions when it comes down to breaking down the fights. But a lot of people don't want to do that. They more like to indulge in the drama and what's going on between the promotional companies. This person's in legal trouble. And so that is probably why she's not shying away from that drama, despite the fact that she's like so amazing. And it's so funny. I was getting my break. And my hairdresser was like, oh, I heard about Claressa. I heard about Papoose. I was telling her about how amazing she was. She's like, oh my God. And I'm going to go watch her film. But she had she know about her, but she didn't understand how dope she is outside of the drama. And that kind of bothered me. But it's what it is.
Did you see Papoose rap for her? His freestyle for her at the press conference, Juke?
I saw a snippet, and then I scrolled away. And I'm not saying I don't like Papoose because I'm a hip hop head. Like I was a smack DVD girl, but right. I don't tune in to see Papoose rapping. And as much as I didn't want to. I'm happy she's happy, but as a woman of a little bit more maturity, I have worries for her, and
my worries is all the way at the top.
I'm so worried for her because I don't see this, and I pray I'm wrong. I pray I'm wrong. I don't see this ending well, but whatever. I'm happy she's happy right now. I'm tired of him being all up in the video.
Yo, what if he proposed to her after the fight?
He bet not. Oh my God, I'm telling you.
Like what Shakur did with his girl, I thought that was so cute. So what if he pulled a Shakur?
Different. No, that's different though. What Shakur did, and y'all gonna think you a Shakur fan. It's why. I promise it's not why. What Shakur did is different than it would be if Papoose was proposed to Claressa. It's a different dynamic. One thing, first of all, that was Shakur's moment. He didn't have to bring her in. It was his moment to make it about him.
Mm-hmm.
What you don't do is propose to a woman or anybody else when it's their moment. Like if their birthday party is their moment, you don't make it about you. So if that's what Shakur chose to do, fine. But nah, you don't I don't think he. But how he gonna propose? He's still married.
That ain't stop, girl. That don't stop people.
Yeah, I mean, no, it don't stop you from proposing, but let me shut up. I'm trying my best not to talk about these people's personal lives because I want everybody talking about my personal life. So I'm gonna shut up. But I listen. I'm happy she happy. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, okay.
That's what I said. She was so up there. She was singing and blushing and doing all that.
Man, she better. I'm hoping. Well, I know she's gonna be focused for this camp. Because one thing about it, Claressa don't like to lose.
And that's what I like about her. She's competitive. I love everything about her. I like her aggression. Now people say, "Well, she needs to be more feminine." Nah, she beats people up for a living. She has the mindset she has to have. She's supposed to be just as arrogant as if you're going in a ring in front of millions of people and fighting, you have to be overtly confident in a way that the average person is not. So they have to be a little bit almost delusional. They have to be, because what else is going to get you when you get nervous? What else is going to get you out there in that ring, except for your overwhelming sense of I'm going to succeed. You can't be doubting yourself. You can't. While we can have self-doubt in our everyday lives, it's different when you're in a ring with millions of people's eyes on you and someone has studied how to beat you up for 6 to 10 to 8 weeks. You have to have, it's a different mindset you have to have. So I understand why these people might be a little off-putting to certain folks, even to me, but it's kind of needed. You know, so
I mean, she's the greatest woman of all times. How y'all think she was gonna act?
Big
She's the
Supreme
greatest
said
woman.
Clarissa.
I seen that. I'm ignoring Big Supreme.
He said Clarissa gonna be the first female boxer to defend undisputed while pregnant. I can't stand him.
He is.
yeah, I mean, but they gotta be arrogant. Like that's the thing. I think people want like, okay, you can't be this prissy. Well, I hope I go out there and do my best. Hell no, I'm going out there to wreck shit. Like she got to go out there and wreck it. Well, like no, I want all that. I don't want that pansy. Like I don't what. Well, I hope I do my best. You know, I'm gonna trip a nail. No, I want you to go out there seek and destroy because that person's coming to seek and destroy you. Gender is irrelevant. People, I mean, because she's fighting another woman, it's irrelevant at that point. I ain't trying to hear that. I love it.
What I want, the only thing I pray is that Clarissa understands and understands that she is the prize. You know what I'm saying?
No, she absolutely is, and she's like she's done something that the act like I don't, and that's what like she is so. It's so like it's few men who've even done what she's done. Actually, there's none really, but there's few people who've done what she's done. Like she's a one of one.
I don't think it's fair to be like, there's nobody. She didn't fought nobody. There's nobody there to fight. There's no women. And I'm like, I get it, but one, that's not her fault. And two, if it's everybody so sorry and trash, how come the other women not doing it too?
Well, and that's why that same point is why I defend the women of the elder women. They can't do anything about the competition around them. All they can do is get rid of them and pack them up. And that's why I respect every generation. That's why. You know, because you don't get to choose your opponents and who decided to compete at the division you're competing at. You don't have those decisions. Now, do I have to respect it if you just so happen to be born in a situation where you had like a cigarette Leonard, where you were born in a situation we had all this smoke, Ali, who you just had all this smoke, and you still survived? Yes, I'm gonna give you extra points for that because you just so happen to be born in a situation and brought up in a situation where it was smoke east, west, everywhere you turned was a difficult situation. And that's how some divisions are now. Some divisions are not that, don't got that much smoke. Some divisions are all smoke. It just happens. So I'll give you respect, right? And so that's why people are like, oh, women the fighters of the day, they didn't fight nobody. Well, people are going to say that about the Clarissa's era too. And that's why I say be careful what you say of the previous eras, because someone's going to say that about the current era.
Clarissa ain't fighting nobody. Who was Layla?
Right. And I was rewatching some Layla fights. Man, she was packing folks up out of there. Like she don't get enough credit.
She was fighting housewives and strippers.
Yeah, but again, to me, like I said, we can compare the competition, but the people that everybody loves so much, she stopped her. Like Christy Martin, she stopped that woman. And she did. Like if we consider who like the pinnacle of women's boxing, Layla stopped her. And Layla also stopped the woman that stopped Dan Wolf. So I got to give Layla her credit. And we can nitpick her resume, and that's fine. But all I'm saying is that the problem with nitpicking Layla's resume is that this generation is not that much more removed and that much more advanced than people think it is.
But see, that's why
I gotta hit
it's advanced, but not as much as y'all think.
I gotta hit you with the boxing hanger. Go ahead, you. Hey, y'all! Shout out to Mr. Greg with the $5 in the super chat. He says these boxers today are not hiring good PR promotion people, in my opinion, and none of them have any endorsement deals. Well, Mr. Greg, I think Ryan Garcia got endorsement deals. I know he had Gatorade and Reebok.
He lost a couple of them with that whole thing that he did last summer.
Oh yeah, he did lose a lot of endorsement deals. Yeah, I think Shakur had Reebok or somebody, right? Shakur got.
I think so. I think he had Reebok.
I think he got an endorsement deal with Reebok.
Oh, wait, is that Mr. Greg and his wife in the photo? They just so adorable.
I think. I know Devin Haney. I know he got some weed endorsement deals. And what else have y'all seen Devin Haney? I think it was something else I seen him peddling on his Instagram. I can't think of what else it was. I think Tank got the Chrome Hearts.
I don't know if he got Chrome Hearts. I know he complained about it. I don't know.
I think at
But
one point they had like a little thing going.
I will say, yeah, like these advertisers are not giving out endorsements like they used to because, and I think social media has a lot to do with that. Because there was a time where if you were embattled and had issues, the difference is social media has like put a magnifying glass on that. In a time where in previous years that wasn't it. Like back in the day, and I ain't saying everybody was squeaky clean, but there wasn't like completely social media run of everything you did and that back then if you did something wrong, it wasn't like millions of retweets about what you did wrong. Like people would talk about it, but you had to compete with the limited media sources that were available. And so nowadays we are inundated with so much media. If you do anything that can help hurt the brand, it usually become more of a liability. So I just think that's why you don't have as many.
Hold on,
But then I think
let me address this real quick. Did I ever say I wasn't biased? Can somebody ever tell me if I
I love that 2 Cent owns it. Like I'm biased, and so what of it?
Because yes, I'm biased because I have an opinion. I have an opinion, so I'm going to be biased. Everybody's biased. All this people with this I'm not biased shit, like to me, I think that's weak because you literally saying you don't have your own opinion. I mean, it is what it is. Like I never said I was not biased. I'm not trying to not be biased. If I have an opinion and you feel the opinion is biased, then it's just bias. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, well, I want to add because I agree with what you guys were saying, right? But they are cutting up. They said Tank got a Birkin purse endorsement. I'm so done with you, Big Supreme. Okay, now this is how I feel with the whole endorsement thing with the PR too. Remember, boxing is one of the only sports out there that is not heavily they don't really have their own internal policies and um laws and everything when it's surrounding various topics. So for example, one NFL player got fined I think it was like $11,000 last week because he wore on his face stop the genocide. And you're not supposed to make political statements in the NBA. I mean, in NFL. So they find him. We all know what John Morant goes through. He make a gun gesture, $20,000 fine. You know what I'm saying? Like they stay hitting him. Okay, well, fine. So I think that's why, because you have to be careful. Like these boxers for a living, like. I mean, how many times have we seen them cut up? Like, for instance, one of my all-time favorite pressers was Jamal Charlo versus Jose Benavidez. Who remembers that? It was online, and Jamal Charlo cussed out his mama. Jose Benavidez
I remember that.
You remember that? That was
crazy. That was probably the most crazy littest press conferences that was virtual ever.
It was, but it was so.
But that's why I say the Charlos need to come back, because the Charlos brought an energy that no one else.
Nobody can give that. So
that was crazy.
Now think about like this, Jude. What if Jamal Charlo had a high-end endorsement? And they see him saying that, you know what I'm saying F your mama should have swallowed you, all kind of stuff.
But they're fighters, Key. They fighters.
I know, but you also have to protect the brand. Like, okay, for instance, I give you one that just happened recently. Cardi B and Nicki Minaj was going back and forth like a couple months ago. I know y'all probably heard about it. And Cardi B, they was talking about each other kids. Now, this was before Cardi B's endorsement drop with this baby formula that she has, that she just picked up an endorsement on. So that's why she said, okay, I got to stop, because I'm sure she got that phone call. And then when the commercial dropped.
Cardi B has said multiple times she's lost endorsements over things. When she got charged with something, like I think it was some type of video game. They ended up taking. Actually, she lost one to Nicki Minaj over it. She's lost multiple.
Right.
And I agree, but I will say the difference was back in the day, what these fighters are saying, like what Jamal Charlo said, what he said was in response to Jose Benavidez talking about him having nappy hair, right?
Right.
And so he responded. But I would just say this: and this was like the time. It's just also different times and climate, political climate. Because I don't know if people remember Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson used to say the craziest things. Now, the person who was polished and clean and swept up any endorsement and still beat you up was Sugar Ray Leonard. Now, he did,
Yeah.
but however, he did go down. This was crazy. Like, people remember this because there wasn't social media and people don't talk about it. Sugar Ray Leonard also, I think, went down over domestic violence charges. People don't remember that. He was accused of it too. I think he might have got convicted of it. I got to go back and look out of his allegation or charge. He had the same issues. He had a time where he was wilding out, acting a fool, but he knew how to handle the media very well. But Mike Tyson used to say, like remember recently when we were talking about Shakur and T.O., and I was saying the thing that T.O. said, he was repeating something Mike Tyson said.
Yeah,
it was the stuff that was kind of
yeah.
overtly. I don't even want to say it, but
it was kind of gay,
right? But
right.
what he was doing, it was a ripoff of what Mike Tyson said.
Yeah.
And Mike Tyson still was the biggest star on earth back then because the climate was different and there was no social media. And it wasn't looped on in for 8,000 viewers. People couldn't end it you had the media source with the media source. If you didn't VCR it, if you didn't put a VCR recording of it that day, you didn't have it. You have to wait for HBO to republish it. It wasn't, when he said, "I'm a white boy" and said all that craziness, no one could replay it on their streams 800 times. So I think that was the difference. Because I'm telling you, ain't nothing nobody has said is crazier than what I've heard Mike Tyson say.
Yeah. Somebody said Jamel and Jamal had a Balenciaga deal. And I know Canelo got Armani, I believe.
No, Canelo got Amiri. Canelo got so many endorsements. It's crazy.
But what I was gonna say? What you just said, Ju?
No, I'm just saying I think it's a difference of time.
I was about to ask y'all, did y'all watch the Zuffa card tonight?
No.
It's tonight?
Yeah, it was on his own. I don't have Paramount Plus, so I'm gonna have to catch some.
I have. Let me tell you something. I have all the pluses and the minuses. Let me tell you, I just pay for subscriptions because I have nieces and nephews who I adore, and I just be paying for subscriptions. Oh, can I take the account information? No, they got it. I'm just TT just paying. I don't know. It was on Paramount. It's tonight.
Yeah, it was tonight, and so because
that shows they didn't promote it well because I was on Paramount watching some other show and I didn't even see it.
Well, the thing is, the thing is, I guess that was more so kind of prospect-ish. I was reading some of the reviews of people on social media. I tapped in because I heard about it only today, and I said, "Oh wow." But
I thought the whole conversation today, I thought it was like
January 23rd was the first card, and that's the first mistake. Why you putting boxing on a Friday night?
I was busting online today. I'm sitting here waiting for Muratalla fight. That's tomorrow, right?
Yeah, that's
correct. And the what I saw, the clips that I've seen so far, there's not even anybody I'm like, where's the crowd? What's going on?
I mean, we're not gonna cry and complain like we do about every other card. But I found some interesting stuff, Key. I think you're gonna like this. And before Key, we had Victor Conti under investigation, and now that investigation has come to an end. So Dana White will be my new person that I currently have under investigation, and I will be keeping a close eye on Zuffa and just critiquing every little thing like y'all did PBC. But no, honestly, I think that this is interesting because it's just really strange to me how people watch Dana White mess over his fighters. They don't like him, get sued, be under federal investigation for fixing fights, not turning over evidence, destroying evidence, not giving it to the judge. All this corrupt stuff that Dana White is currently doing right now at the moment as we speak. But a lot of people believe that Zuffa boxing will be great, and it may be great, and it's going to be good and all of that. And listen, I don't have an issue with Zuffa boxing. It's Dana that I'm about to be looking into. and watching his moves. So the first thing I came across, because I don't watch UFC. I never really paid attention to Dana White like that. I kind of really looked at Dana White sideways when he started that Power Slap League, because that is the most brutal, disrespectful sporting event I've ever seen in my life. To stand there and get hit and not be able to defend yourself, I think that is diabolical, and it crosses a line for me. I'm not sure everybody, y'all put a 1 in the chat if y'all watch Power Slap.
I've never seen a day
Me
a
neither.
day in my life.
Me neither.
Y'all
Y'all
never
talking
seen
about
Power Slap?
Mm-mm.
And
okay. I gotta show y'all.
So that's him too. That's Dana too.
Yeah, look. I hate that. Look at. I can't believe y'all ain't seen Power Slap. We about to pull it up real quick.
I don't like Dana White, and once y'all said Zuffa boxing, I had to remember. That's right. I wasn't interested in looking at it in the first place.
Nobody's gonna want to see that shit for real. I don't really think it was the Zuffa boxing. It's the legislation that they're putting in place that's really gonna change everything in boxing, and then they're gonna be able to kind of like do more what they want. So y'all never seen Power Slap?
No.
I'm trying to find.
No, and plus I don't want to see somebody just get slapped the heart.
Key, you gotta see it, Key.
It looks just so violent. It looks so brutal. Like,
I just like my issue with Dana is that Dana has never loved, and this is why I question people who claim they love boxing and support Dana. Dana has been the antagonist when it comes to boxing for years. His whole ammo is to bring boxing beneath UFC, which is already low, which is why they don't have any stars right now. It's terrible, and that's whatever. That's another conversation.
What nudge, Big Dre? What I do?
No, that's the point that we trying to make. That's what we trying to let people know.
Yeah, but people like, oh, but boxing was always corrupt. Yeah, but the whole point is that we do all this work to make it less corrupt, and the minute it's working better but not perfect, you say, oh, everything's not perfect. Let's just give it to someone who's gonna make it 10,000 times worse. And that's what y'all literally did. It's like, oh, perfection or 10,000 times worse. And I will never forgive y'all for it, but whatever.
Key, did you hear about the Robert Garcia thing? Did y'all hear about that rumor that Robert Garcia was trying to force Bam Rodriguez to sign with Zuffa?
Yes, I did hear about that.
And then did you see what they posted in the Discord about how Robert Garcia got all his fighters going to Zuffa?
Yes, I think that Robert Garcia might be getting paid under the table, if you get my drift.
Well, he is getting paid. And remember how we was talking about how like certain promoters, okay, so I ain't gonna go there. I ain't gonna go into my old.
Here you go, Key.
Old lady habits. I'm a hush.
What happened?
Nothing. Go ahead. Show the video. I'm gonna pause it for now.
Here we go. Hold on, y'all.
Oh my God. Oh, is he dead? He dead. Oh no, he up. Okay. Oh my God, Lord Jesus, get hit. Lord, where's the ambulance?
Society is regressing, and it's so scary that people don't see it.
It is, and wait until the Hunger Games, like 2 Cents been talking about.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, let me tell y'all something, and this is what's bothering me. And it's so like the way we're taught is like, oh, you women, you're so illogical. You're so illogical. You're emotional, but we're the only people who can see the forest and the trees, and they don't see the regression. Like, we're literally going backwards. Like, the whole point of our species is evolution, and it's like people said, nope, we don't want to evolve. We want to regress and become worse than versions that we were yesterday, because progression is just too much for us. So you got this slap boxing situation, and they want more brutality and more brutality. And I'm not saying boxing is already brutal, right? It's already a brutal sport. And if you've ever seen a boxing match in person, even with those big gloves, it's brutal. It's a lot of blood. Like, it's already brutal enough. So yeah, that's crazy. And Dana is saying, I know it's brutal, but I want to
But I want you to
limit,
stand here and get knocked out without no defense.
and I want you to limit the amount of money you can make, despite the. And I'm going to take all the profit, basically going back to regressing to the days of old. And you're going to make the least amount of money. And it's so funny because, like, I feel like, and this is why people say I'm tired of old movies that talk about the times when everything was bad. And I used to understand. I used to kind of like see what people were saying, but now I don't. We don't have enough of it because people don't learn. We talk about Black Murderers Row. We talk about a time where boxers and like people like Sweet Pea, who was an amazing fighter, died broke. And we talk about the systems that got them there, and people just rooted to bring the same system that made it where our greats died broke.
Well, people don't realize when they're championing on their
but they don't, because they're, and that's what I'm saying. Why don't you though? If you're so logical, why don't you realize that I can pick it up a year ahead of time, the minute? Why can't you? You're supposed to be the Mr. Leader. You're so smart. Why don't you pick it up? I picked it up. It should be obvious. You're supposed to have the street smarts. You talk all this gully stuff on the internet. Why don't you get it? Why is your street smarts not kicking in?
Let me say, Rich, that link didn't work. It only took me to Instagram. It didn't take me to the, you know what I'm saying? It didn't take me to the actual post. Can you send it to my Instagram?
No, I ain't got nothing to do with my gender. I got common sense.
All right, here we go. Let's see.
Would have never been able to. That's the smartest thing I did, because you can never get that time back.
Hold on, that's not the one I want to play. Let me find the one I want to play. Actually, we can watch that one. This is, I don't know his name, but he's a UFC fighter.
Your family, and so it's huge for me. Oh man, to have 14 bonuses and not equal up to $1 million, it's not right. It's not right. It should be a lot more than that. And I should have had opportunities to do smarter things with my money, but I don't, and I haven't. And to this day, everyone's, I hear Daniel Cormier saying that everybody's going to get paid more on this card. I'm not getting $1 more than I would have if this deal did not happen. I'm happy to have achieved what I have achieved. The best thing I did is probably invest in a commercial property. I purchased a house in Arizona that's like a mile away from my parents. My sister is renting that from me now. But really just being able to help my family, help my parents, help my brothers and sisters, give them Christmas gifts that I never would have been able to give them, take them on vacations that I would have never been able to. That's the smartest thing I did, because you can never get that time back with your family. And so, it's huge for me. Oh, man.
All right. So this is one of the Dana's current UFC fighters who's currently fighting under the new Paramount deal, where they're now supposed to be making all this money now and getting all these crazy bonuses. And he comes out and just says, man, I'm getting paid the same thing. All this Dana White talking about we're going to get paid more and this and this and that. I'm getting paid the same thing.
Basically, the thing that us three said.
Hold on, let me get these super chats. Shout out to Mr. Greg with the $5 in the super chat. He says, these boxers today are not hiring good PR promotion people, in my opinion. And none of them seem to have any endorsement deals. Did I read that one already?
Yeah.
Mr. Greg, this is the one. All right. Juke, do you watch The Mayor of Kingston, Tuscan Kings, or Lioness on Paramount? Power Slap is insane, 2 cents. It is insane. It's the most egregious thing I've ever seen.
I just started The Mayor of Kingston like a couple weeks ago, and I'm like so behind in all my little shows. I started The Mayor of Kingston. The other two I haven't got a chance with, because I'm more of a Netflix and Amazon girl. But I'm trying to catch up, because like I said, I got all the little apps because of my nieces and nephews. I'm just paying for stuff that I ain't watching, whatever. But I'm gonna catch up on it. I'm assuming those are good shows, Mr. Greg. So I'm gonna catch up on them. Oh, and by the way, do any of y'all watch? Because think about the brutality of this. Did any of y'all watch a show called Spartacus before?
Yep.
Okay. Spartacus is the craziest show. Do you know they have like a new version called The House of Asher?
No.
That's what I'm watching right now. It's The House of Asher. And it's about like gladiators and back in the day and Rome and all that. Man, first of all, we'll talk about that later, ladies. But like, I was just wondering if y'all watch. They have a new iteration of it called The House of Asher, which is about the character Asher, who you already know was like terrible, but whatever. But it just reminded me of like how brutal. That's why I said we're regressing because like that's how it was. It was absolute brutality. They just threw you away once you got beat up, and you had to fight to the death back then. So that's why I was wondering. But anyway, that's what I'm watching right now.
All right, here we go. Next video.
I would have if this deal.
I never said everybody. I never
You
said
said
everybody.
everybody. You said every
I
single
said the
guy
fighters will.
will be
I
getting
said
paid more. The fighters.
no. I said the fighters.
Are you kidding me? You're gonna do this?
You're gonna throw us under the bus, make
I
us
did
look
not
stupid.
throw you
You're
under the
getting
bus.
paid more. Why would you say that?
Listen.
You might be getting paid more, and I hope you are.
Wait, how would you know? I don't get paid nothing. I do this for free. I do this to help you. I love you, so I do this.
See, and that's how you lie to the people, just like that.
I know you said in this era things would be going up. What kind of bonuses is everyone fighting for on Saturday?
Yeah, I don't have that number right now.
Will you have it Saturday?
Yeah, no, I don't have it right now.
324. You're out here saying everybody's getting paid more, and you're lying. Why would you say that?
Wait.
Why would you talk out of your ass when you have no idea what's happening?
I actually know.
Oh, you know that I'm getting paid more than I would have if this deal.
I never said everybody. I never
You
said
said
everybody.
everybody. You said every
I
single
said the
guy
fighters will.
will be
I said
paid more. The fighters.
no. I said the fighters.
Are you kidding me? You're gonna do this?
You're gonna throw us under the bus, make
I
us look
did not
stupid.
throw you
You're
under the
getting paid
bus.
more. Why would you say that?
Listen.
You might be getting paid more, and I hope you are.
Wait, how would you know? I don't get paid nothing. I do this for free. I do this to help you. I love you, so I do this.
See, and that's how you lie to the people, just like that.
I know.
So in that exchange, you see, first of all, you see Dana White up here lying through his teeth. How you don't know what the bonuses are, Dana White? And see, this is what Dana White don't realize. People gonna ask you about that money with that $7 billion. In boxing, people want to know, like, hey, what's up? What's going on? And now you've been running around saying people about to get paid more money. You've been making all these promises about pays and bonuses and this and that. You're already under federal investigation. You've already been sued, Dana. So now you're under a spotlight.
Okay, so this is what I've been piecing together. So as we all know, that Warner Brothers deal, they're trying to, everybody trying to acquire it. Netflix is in a bidding war right now. And so one of the things that is hindering it, as I told you guys before, was that UFC deal. And the number, so they're saying that they overpaid for it. Now, what I've been putting together, what I've been piecing together from these, y'all got to tap into these MMA and UFC. Normally, I would never, but since Dana White is crossing over into the territory, right? For some odd reason, my algorithm is just showing them. So it's all these MMA and UFC journalists, private journalists, who have been exposing Dana for a very long time. I'm gonna get y'all the names because they be putting out some tea, y'all. Like, oh my God. So, and y'all know I've never watched the UFC a day in my life, so I have no idea. I've never watched UFC or MMA. So I'm like, what the heck? So what they're implying right now is that the question is being raised is, how long will Paramount keep UFC? With everything that's going on with Dana White and
Exactly, Key. Hold on.
Okay.
Slow down. Rewind it back for the people in the back. The people with like the Tootsie Roll in their ears. You said what now? They wondering what now?
They're wondering how long will Paramount keep UFC on their network, because remember, Paramount just had to raise their prices, and it's been speculated that they had to raise their prices because of this UFC deal. Now that the cat is out of the bag, that they pretty much overpaid for it, and with Dana White's, oh my God, several litigations that's occurring right now, on top of the Muhammad Ali Act, a lot of people are asking, well, these journalists are asking, is it wise for Paramount to cut their losses after a year? Now, before people say, oh my God, that's crazy talk, remember, they were supposed to be on they were supposed to continue their contract with ESPN. It was ESPN that said hell to the no. You know what I'm saying? And cut Dana White off. People forget that. That happened last summer. All right. But it
And
was
what
so
supposed
much.
to do with ESPN? I forgot all about that.
Yes, ESPN decided not to renew their contract, and then they went over to Paramount. But remember how he got that sweetheart deal was because of Trump's, all of them is all connected pretty much. Trump folks and Dana White, Trump be at the UFC fights and everything else. They all connected, and Trump, partners them bought Paramount, invested in Paramount. So now people are asking a question: if WB goes through, especially if WB goes with Netflix, which is kind of looking like they are, will they have to cut their losses with UFC and Dana White because there's so much going on?
In a year?
I mean, it'll probably be after I mean, that's not, but will we be surprised though?
I mean, it's almost like, did you really go through all this to start Zuffa? Or did you go through all this to pass the legislation? Like what?
I mean, I think if you're passing legislation is beyond network deals, because now it's set in stone. Like it takes a lot of influence to even get it that quick. Again, the fact that they even got it through committee, and I've seen bills stall that do greater good for more people stall over a longer period of time. The fact that they were able to get this up there that quick lets me know, it makes me consider that there is some type of connection there. So yeah, I think if you did that bill, you did that. That's beyond any network agreement, because if you go to another network, whether you go back to the zone, whatever, that legislation is in place. And now someone, if they want to go against you, they got to go through the same channels you went through, but without maybe the connections you may or may not have.
Crazy work. Crazy work.
And if they do, again, that's I mean, y'all do realize that, because I didn't even know this until, again, I've been following these journalists for that sport, but I didn't even realize that UFC wasn't even hitting like that
Yeah, they were
anymore.
saying that UFC is pretty much And my thing is, people complain about pay-per-views. How many pay-per-views do UFC be doing? They do a ton of pay-per-views, but I've heard that UFC
and that's how I knew. That's what was the first telltale sign that it was just a particular thing against a particular boxing outfit. Because so there was a time like I was never big into UFC. Like I remember I liked John Jones, I liked Amanda Nunes, and like Spider. Like that was like, and because my dad was really into it, and he'd be like, "Baby girl, let me tell you who fight." He would tell me whatever was going on, but like.
Big Dre, this the woman's only panel. Big Dre. Hold on, let me let
every
Big Dre up for a second. Give me 1 second. What's up,
Okay.
Big Dre? This the woman's only show tonight. What you got going on?
I understand that. You just said the guys call in. Or then you put the link down there. I'm sorry. But no, I just wanted to to hop in and say thank you to Dr. Key, because I've been doing a little bit of this voiceover stuff. And she pushed me real hard one day on her show. And I wanted to say thank you. This is the first time I was able to see her live. So that's all I wanted. Thank you.
All right, Big Dre.
Oh wow, you're welcome, Big Dre. I didn't know that. Thank you.
Check your IG out. There's a couple of my tagged you in.
I got you. Thank you.
You've been doing a lot more of them now?
Yeah, I'm doing a lot more of them.
Amen. Amen.
All right.
Congratulations, Big Dre.
And I'll make sure you drop your link so people can support it, Big Dre.
Absolutely.
Dondrick said UFC got the redneck crowd on lock. Not if they doing it. Listen,
Well, go ahead. I was gonna ask. No, like it's so funny that Dondrick said that because do y'all remember what? There's a clip of Bob Arum talking about UFC, and he said something similar to what Dondrick just said about the UFC crowd, and I won't make a comment on that but what I was getting to is that I remember there was a time where I did recognizable names in UFC. Who are their stars right now?
I don't know because I don't watch it.
I know, but there was a time where I didn't watch it, but I still kind of had an idea.
I knew like the Adesanya guy. I remember him being a star at one point.
Right, but that's old. That's years.
Oh, I know that drunk guy that Jake Paul fought.
Oh,
Nate Diaz,
who was fighting drunk in there.
You know, every name y'all mentioned is someone who's like retired or till they're retired. And so that's what I'm saying. What I was saying, like, okay, he's about to introduce this UFC model. When the UFC model has not worked, it completely destroyed UFC. So the only other option was to bring down boxing, because if boxing is terrible now, you got to watch UFC. And I remember people like, oh, the UFC is still profitable. Well, it's always going to be profitable because the fighters aren't making any money.
Hold on. Poor Pounder say Paramount just raised their prices January 15th.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
I told you that they raised it, and a lot of people, well, those journalists are speculating that it's because of the UFC deal.
Yeah, so Paramount raised their prices, but all their top names are people like Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz. Those guys are gone. No one's checking for no Conor McGregor or Nate Diaz fight right now. Adesanya out of there. I don't know what John Jones is.
Wait, Dragon, are these the stars in UFC?
I've never heard of these people. You see what I'm saying? So
they raised it to $13.99 a month, Big Dre. What was it before? And boxing
was I paying $9.99 for it? Or was I paying $11? Shoot.
Think about crying about the monthly fee. I mean, about a pay-per-view, but now you got to pay a monthly fee.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, I understand it. I feel like boxing had gotten to the point where we were having a lot of pay-per-views, but it's like optional. But now my thing is everybody got a lot of subscriptions where you're paying a monthly fee for fights that you would have saw free on Tuesday night a long time ago. Yeah. But with UFC model had every event was a pay-per-view, every event. So then when they went to boxing and they complained that like there would be like a pay-per-view event every 2 months to every six weeks, every 2 months to every 3 months, they complain. But that's like, oh, we need to switch over to the UFC model. But the UFC model had every event was pay-per-view.
They have even more pay-per-views.
They have way more pay-per-views. So they're like, they got all these pay-per-views in boxing. But it's like I say, it's like, oh my God, I hate the boiling water. Let's jump inside the hot boiling grease. It's like you literally you literally went in the opposite direction of your complaint. That's all I'm saying.
But like think about this, and this is the thing when somebody's coming out and it's like they're telling you everything you want to hear. I'm for sure always skeptical off the rip. That's why from the jump, this was a red flag to me, because it's like, oh, the best only gonna fight the best. Oh, they gonna do this. Oh, and it was every boxer's dream, because it answered all of the problems they had with boxing. Turkey and Dana had the answers to all of it. They was gonna solve it. The best gonna fight the best. It's only gonna be one belt. They're gonna have to fight 4 times a year. They're gonna have, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like, first of all, you're not going to solve all the problems with boxing. Like, you're just going to recreate more of them. And second,
they created way more. Like I said, like I was on KO's channel the other day. Y'all, like, compared to where we were.
Oh, Sean O'Malley. That was the last MMA star I think that was really big, was Sean O'Malley.
Who the heck is that?
And I think people know Sean O'Malley because he started calling out Devin Haney.
And the fact that the UFC guys were trying to fight in boxing lets you know how bad the UFC model was.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. All right, 2 centers in the chat. Anybody that watched the Zuffa card tonight, if you let me know and drop it below your 2 cents about the card, I'm gonna put it on the screen, read it, and we all could discuss it because I didn't really watch the card. I watched the weigh-in. Yeah, Sean O'Malley is the white boy with the rainbow hair. I never seen him fight. All I knew was he was an MM fighter, and people wanted to see Devin Haney fight him. Or they was talking noise on Twitter or something, going back and forth. Big Supreme says, Ace Ostan says it was ass. Adorius Warren says it was ass. Big Supreme says whole card basura. I don't know what that means.
Basura is not good. And just let y'all know, and I mentioned this the other night, I remember when PBC debuted with Amazon and the proposed card was going to, the headline of the proposed card to introduce that partnership was Thurman versus Zoo. And I distinctly remember people complaining and saying how trash it was. They were mad at Thurman versus Zoo. And now they're like, Turkey's going to do it for us. Turkey, Turkey, Turkey. And now we have this card now that I didn't even know what's happening tonight. I thought it was in a couple of days next week, because it wasn't promoted well, and everyone's mad. And I just want to say, this is what we now have to look forward to. And for anybody who was on that tip that we tried to warn, take a bow. I hope you happy,
Richard Paris says Zuffa card was pillow fist central. Ace Ostan said it was below ass. He said it was knees.
Okay, did it at least rise to? Okay, would y'all rather watch Pro Box or this?
They said nobody got hurt. Do y'all really watch boxing?
Cards be good, Key. Like I really,
Pro Box is
right,
good.
but I'm trying to get a range. I'm trying to get a range because Pro Box is like at the bottom. Even though for us we like Pro Box,
I don't even think Pro Box is at the bottom. Pro Box sometimes be better than the Zone. The Zone got to compete with Pro Box at times. Sometimes they. When it comes to let me just say this: when it comes to the cards, so if you have a regular DAZN subscription, the fights that come with the regular DAZN subscription, with the exception of Boots, right? Every now and then, Pro Box is better.
Yep.
I'm sorry, Pro Box cards be cracking, and you get to notice so many new fighters. Again, the only reason I kept my DAZN subscription was because of Boots. And that's the only person you can get on that subscription without paying more is Boots. And the minute he go to pay-per-view, I might as well. I have no reason for, and I'm waiting for him to leave so I can stop paying this dumb subscription, because the Zone is mad expensive compared to my other subscription services. They give me so much more bang for my buck.
I been got rid of the Zone after they was double charging me. I can't.
I'm so sick of the Zone. It's so janky.
And their production is terrible.
I hate the Zone.
Shout out to Dondrick Nim. He says Zuffa had decent matchmaking. Production is very solid, and nobody can bust a grape. Zuffa card was Respucia ass. Wow. Basura is trash.
Hey, what he say? It was who's what?
This is a PBC platform. No, the fuck it's not. They gonna say it's ass. How is this a PBC platform? They don't sponsor or pay me. This is my platform.
Anytime they can't, I've noticed something. Anytime people can't directly refute anything you're saying, they say something wow, or something that has nothing to do. They can never. I don't know.
He said, "I don't know how many of the people on this Zuffa card, but it's okay. I hate the uniforms. What uniforms? Burweezy?
They got uniforms?
It's definitely a UFC model. What uniform?
Whoa. What do you mean uniforms?
I don't know what they talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what uniforms that is.
Look, J-Man say aircraft, you know it was ass. Yonder say he'd rather watch Pro Box.
Okay.
Pro Box.
Well, okay, but this is only their first one, y'all. So let's see what they do
Pro Box.
February 1st.
No, hell no. Key, y'all should have came out the gate running. You know how long Dana White been running his mouth and lying? What happened to the we changing the ring, we changing the rules, we doing this,
Okay,
we not working with the
I understand it's their
president?
first event, but I would just say this: no one gave that type of consideration to anyone else, and you're dealing with someone who supposedly is linked to someone who has that Saudi oil money. That there's this endless flow of money, and so when you start out the gate like that, and we've seen people complain and call PBC broke for years and complain about Thurman versus who, right? When we've seen that, you can't come out the gate with that type of product after you've berated people for doing like 100 times better.
And you got $7 billion.
Right. Like PBC to start with that type of money. They literally earn, like they literally work off the dollars they earn from the public. And because of that, they were able to build what? Fandom. They were able to open up new markets for boxing. That's not what's happening. They've closed the market for boxing. You had, like, there was a time where boxing fans were always much older, and you started getting more younger fans involved in boxing, the hip hop crowd involved in boxing. That's what PBC did, and that's what expanded the market. And then their guy came in and did the opposite. He shrunk it, and so now everybody's fighting for less dollars. And so you can't, if you're gonna start out the gate after you did all that. I expect a little more, especially as I've seen people critiqued for doing like 100 times better.
Shout out to Big Dre. He said there was a distinct lack of attendance and looks like a very small arena. Hotel.
That's what I
ballroom.
said. Like it looked
The hotel ballroom. Now
yes, it looks. There was nobody there from the clips I seen. I'm like, what is going on?
Rich said it was a
Pro
weak ass
Box.
debut.
Pro Box has more people than this.
But I thought Terrence Crawford and Canelo was their debut.
Those Pro Box cars be good. I don't care what nobody say.
Yeah, I love Pro Box cars.
I love Pro Box cars. I sometimes, if I have extra time, I go and watch the ones I miss. Those cars, we having surprises. I found a lot of good talent on those cards, and it kind of reminds me. Remember Showbox?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how many great champions came from Showbox? It kind of is like, to me, kind of filling that void a little bit. It's not all the way because Showbox was amazing. But we had so many champions came from Showbox, and so if I'm hoping Pro Box will do,
Well, let's definitely
The Zone production is not A1. MVP.
Oh no, the Zone production is horrible. I still think, to be honest with y'all, I think that the best production I've seen, even from PBC, was when Fundora and Thurman, Fundora and Tim Tszyu fought the first fight, and when they hit and the blood went into the camera, that was so. Me and my dad was literally watching that fight together, and we were like, "Yo!" Like we was wilding, we were wilding.
It was
when we
crazy.
had
I
seen
would
that.
say PBC, when it comes to production, I think they're A1. And sometimes you can tell the difference. Like there was a time when they were with Fox, and then it was Showtime, and there was a difference. I've always preferred Showtime, but some of their Fox shows used to be crazy too. But yeah, I remember that scene when the blood. It's okay. You watch the fights with your dad. I watched a lot of the fights with my dad too. And yeah, I remember when like that fight was so bloody and messy.
That was my favorite fight of the year, Juke. That was my favorite fight of the year.
Bloody. It was like to the point of grossness. Like it was just like you don't know who blood was whose. It was just a mess. But
that was my favorite.
And that whole card was good. And that's one thing I would say too. And this is a thing that we don't judge a lot. And when it comes to boxing cards, I think this is something I always want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
You know how the people say, "Oh, this card's amazing. It has these names," right? And you do want names on the card, people you recognize, right? And sometimes those cards live up to the potential, but oftentimes they don't. Sometimes they do.
I can prove that.
But I will say this, and I'm not trying to seem like a cheerleader of any particular outfit. Like I said, when Turkey puts out a good card, I'm with it. Like there's times where I'm like, okay, that's a good card. Like I was happy when we finally got. I had been wanting a bit of Bivol versus Better Be It for years. But even though I can't even give him full credit for that, because that was really Aram, because wasn't nothing happened without Aram, it was on ESPN. when he has a good card, he has a good card, and I give him that weight. But what I've noticed is that sometimes you just put big names on a card and expect it to do well or expect the fight to be good. They don't understand matchmaking. Some people do matchmaking to make sure their guy wins, and some people do matchmaking to make sure it's an exciting fight. And what I've noticed is that a lot of the cards we've gotten, which was Radia season, the TKO faction, whatever that side, the card looks absolutely amazing. It looks absolutely amazing. But when the fight happens, for some reason, it's not living up to the expectation that the names carry.
Yep, like that fight in the middle of the street.
Yeah, but that wasn't the first time it happened. And that's when I realized people are right. He don't know boxing. Meanwhile, a lot of times when PBC puts a card on, even though it's a name or two, everyone be complaining. But the fights always surpass what we think it's going to do. The fight is normally, at least it lives up to it or it's better. We might have a dud once every blue moon, but the fights are always like there's an upset. Like you have a higher chance of an upset. You have a higher chance of some crazy. Like it's just the fight is always a better matchup, and I've noticed that.
Let me read this comment real quick from Rich. He said, "Don't tell me Dana using Bob Arum model. Take the big budget, then put on low quality fights." Looking like,
of course, you thought different.
Looking like it, Rich.
I want to ask y'all, ladies.
Said he would. He said he wasn't paying him a dime earlier. He said it.
Can I
Yes,
check?
he did.
Big Dre, you're gonna have to click the chat, click to come in and put it in the private chat. I can't click the link from the chat. Let me see. Is it a YouTube video? Go ahead, Key. What you were saying?
I gotta ask y'all, ladies. Jupe, 2 Cents, Queens, my boys up in here, D1, Dondrick, Burweezy, Fredo, Big Supreme, okay. Big Dre, J-Man, okay, all of y'all. Question. Who we got for tomorrow, y'all? Murataya versus Andy Cruz. I've been wrecking my brain all week watching film. I watched Murataya fight with Tevin Farmer. I watched Andy Cruz fight with Moran. And just to try to get the gist of, like matching them up with what they both bring to the table. Murataya is a pressure come forward fighter.
Put the link
Not
in the
too many,
private chat, Big Dre.
not too many tricks in the bag. Andy Cruz has the athleticism, but he does keep that head on the line. He does. It's hard, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes his defense is his offense, if that makes sense. Um, and that could be a good thing and or a bad thing, depending on who you in the ring with. Both of them are good fighters, but I'm trying to, because a part of me is leaning towards Murataya. I ain't gonna lie about that. Because Andy Cruz, as y'all know, Andy Cruz has only about 6 or 7 fights. And I come from the school of experience, you know what I'm saying, has a higher percentage of chance of winning, higher probability. But I also know that style make fights. So what y'all got, y'all? Who y'all got, y'all? Like this is a really good fight. Who do y'all have, Murataya or Andy Cruz?
I think that I got a Big Dre. I'm gonna play it. I think that I don't know. I was hearing Muratala name, Muratala, but then when I watch Muratala fight, I'm kind of like, he's okay. Andy Cruz, I like Andy Cruz. I feel like he still kind of fought like amateurish, but ever since he got with Bozy, he seemed to be sitting down on his punches a little bit more, but he just don't have like go get him type of instinct. That's like my biggest issue with Andy Cruz. But I don't know. I don't have a horse in this race. But I think Andy Cruz might get it though. But I don't really have a horse in this race. Who you got, you?
So this is hard for me because like I have not had the time to like really sit down and look at the tape. I've only seen like honestly, I've seen Andy Cruz fight 2 times. So I feel so woefully unprepared. Right? And but honestly, I only seen Muratalla fight like 3 or 4 times. And
Okay, question. Do y'all
I'm trying to
Duke, does this make it easier for you? Who do you think won, Murataya or Tevin Farmer?
Oh, I gotta remember that fight. In the moment, I remember who I thought. I think I thought in the moment that Tevin could have taken it. It was a very close fight, if I remember correctly. But I'm saying I can't remember. Like
I think Tevin got robbed that fight.
I thought Tevin won it. I did. But it was on Top Rank, whatever. I remember correctly. I thought Tevin won it. But I don't. Can you tell me blow by blow what happened in that fight? No, because it was a while ago, and I don't remember. Right? Like, I just can't. I would have to be. My memory would have to be jarred.
They Supreme people like Andy Cruz before he was even training with Boots.
Yeah, they did. Like I remember there was a ton. There was a ton of Andy Cruz fans. I've never. Okay, so this is the thing about Andy. I like Andy. I do. On some real stuff, have I ever been 100% sold on him? No. Not because I'm doubting him and I don't like him. I was never sold on him and I just have to see more. But that's understandable because he only got like what 6, 7 fights? He got us 8 fights, right?
Yeah, that's why I was like, oh, he's gonna go
That's
to
understandable, right? And people tend to get mad if you don't like he only has 8 fights.
You say Andy Cruz overrated. I don't think he's overrated. I don't think it's not that I'm rating Andy Cruz. Like I think he's a good fighter, and I think if he's able to do ... he'll be better and more competitive on a higher elite level. That's how I feel about Andy Cruz. But at the same time, Andy Cruz is old. He's not no young fighter, so I don't think he got too much time to get the ... dots in order. If he can get a dot or a ... then I think he'll be decent. But
also, right now, like I've been trying to find some other. I'm about to go on YouTube because the issue now is that because Top Rank, I remember like I used to go better watch everybody's old fights on ESPN. It's kind of hard to do that now. I think that like I do like Andy. I think people are leaning a little too heavily on his.
If Andy overrated, Keyshawn overrated. Big Supreme.
I think.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's all good. I think people are going too heavily on his career before the professionals. Like, I don't know. This is what I'm saying. Andy's good. Do I think he's overrated or underrated? I don't know because he only has 6 fights. And do I hear people say, "Oh, he's good"? I haven't heard anyone say he's the best at 135. He's gonna slide. To me, that's overrating. So I can't say he's overrated or not. I just feel like he just has a lot of promise because of what he's done in the amateurs, and he's a gold medalist. But I just feel like I don't have enough intel yet. But I will say this. Although I do think Muratalla lost that fight, at least initially, and I never watched it again, so I need to watch it again. I could be wrong. He lost that fight to Tevin Farmer. That fight could have prepared him for someone like Andy Cruz, who's more of a boxer, and can move. You can learn in a loss or a draw or a fight that's challenging. That's the beauty of that. That's why you have it, right? You cannot look great in a fight and learn. So now, so I'm trying to think, okay, that Muratalla could learn something from that. It's hard for me to pick because I haven't watched enough of either fighter, but I am excited for the fight because 135 needs some clarity. I'm trying to pick someone right now in my brain. I'm really trying to
Okay, let me help you, Jude.
Okay.
Let me help you, Queen. What about corners? Robert Garcia versus Bozianis. Now, we've both seen them in action. All of us have seen Bozianis coaching his behind off. We've seen Robert Garcia coaching his behind off with his fighters. But who is the better train? Because it could come down, and when it come to fights like this, it really could come down to the coaching. Like, let's keep it 105. Like, it really can come down to the coaching. Like, who's going to say who? Like, you like I think about one of the best coaching moments in 2024, in my opinion, was the Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia fight. When I saw Derek James literally tell Ryan Garcia, and I think that's where the rift kind of occurred, between Derek James and his father, and Ryan Garcia's dad, when Derek James literally looked at the father and said no, and looked at Ryan Garcia and said, sit down. No, keep this going. Like, who remembered that? His voice was high pitched,
He was going.
No, he was
huh?
coaching his butt off. No, he
No, keep
was.
it going. Like, no, keep, get your mind right. You know what I'm saying? Because Ryan Garcia, if you go back and watch that corner, I mean, if you go back and watch that particular point, Ryan Garcia had knocked down Devin Haney again. Sorry. And he walked back to the corner all willy-nilly and smiling and everything. And Derek stood and sat him down and everything. I don't know if y'all remember that.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yes.
Yes, and he told Mr. Garcia, hold on, back up. You feel me? Like that, like it could really come down to one of those moments in this type of fight. So for the
Yeah, no,
corner,
no, no,
Jude,
you're right with that. Because I will say, people, I feel like when Errol lost, everybody discounted Derek. Derek's a great coach. And he absolutely was him, and he was snatching Ryan up because Ryan was being unfocused and thinking he got it in the bag. And he really did, like, a lot of his coaching really did make the difference. I agree.
so does that
So
help
let
it?
me say that. I
What
want to
what
say
what corner is going to pull it out? Robert Garcia or Bozianis? What's up?
we're gonna have to see.
So this is my thing. If it comes down to the coaching, and I'm not saying that because I just praise. Oh my God, it's gonna be. I hate to say this on tape. Okay, I have to go by who has the more. Garcia has been like trainer of the year, and I'm not saying Derek hasn't. He has, but Garcia has more years. I'm thinking more of the stylistic matchup. But yeah, I mean, if you have to go head to head, Garcia has trained a larger stable at different times, different styles over a more sustained period. So if I had to blindly choose, and I actually like Derek's approach better, I gotta go with Garcia just because I'm looking at his body of work.
I mean, but
I have to kind of like if
this is
if
the
I'm
thing
going if I'm going
with,
solely stat for stat, solely stat for stat. Not saying like him as a trainer, solely stat for stat.
but I think my thing with like Derek James is like Derek had a unified fighter at 47 and an undisputed fighter at 54. Those are the two hardest divisions. And then we're talking like, who did his fighters lose to? His fighters lost to the best fighters in boxing. They lost to Gervonta Davis, Canelo Alvarez, and Terrence Crawford. Like, what are we talking about? How are you not a good trainer when you're able to get your fighters to the pinnacle at the top to fight the best person there? Earl fought for undisputed at 47. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to get it. Charlo was able to get his undisputed, run through champions, do rematches. He did everything all the hardcore fans say they want in boxing. And y'all still don't respect him. But I digress. So I don't understand why people try to say, even when Brian Norman went over there to Derek James, they was like, oh, Derek James is just going to train him how to be flat-footed and one-dimensional. So Derek James has all this success with his fighters and he's only training them to be one-dimensional? It doesn't make sense. Now, you may not like Derek's style or whatever the case may be, but you cannot discount the fact that he is a good trainer. He even got Ryan Garcia using a jab. Come on, y'all.
I think with this fight, and I get what you're saying, Queen, but I don't know. For some odd reason, I am leaning.
I don't know who to pick. I'm be honest with you, because I think who's bigger, Muratalla?
Yeah,
Muratalla looks bigger.
Based on weighing, Muratalla is bigger. But let me just clarify: in no way am I saying Derrick James. I praise him. I'm not saying he's not a good trainer. Derrick James is an amazing trainer. I'm just saying that Robert Garcia's track record is a little longer. But no, I would never say like I actually when I saw that Brian Norman might be with Derrick, I like that. I like
It's
that
perfect.
matchup. I don't
It's
think that
perfect.
I love it. I actually love it. I don't think that his fighters are one dimensional. I think he's an amazing trainer. It's just like basically it's like it's splitting hairs at this point. And I agree, and I've said multiple times, I don't think there's there's not a boxing trainer in modern history. When I say modern, I'm talking about like the last 20, 30 years. I can't think of a trainer who had a harder schedule than Derrick James.
Derrick James, yeah.
No one has had a harder schedule. No one has had to go up against that. This man has gone up against everybody that we've ever considered elite in all of boxing. And sometimes in the same damn year.
Okay, but what about Bozy Ennis though? Because that's who's coach. Like what? Bozy is a good coach.
No, Bozy is a good coach. It's just that right now he has Ennis, which is like the supernova.
And Andy Cruz.
He got Andy, and then he got somebody else. I saw him. So who's the other person he got? He got somebody else. He got Cool Boy. Cool Boy. I feel like honestly in the Cool Boy situation, I'm not gonna put 100% on Bozy because Cool Boy wasn't listening either. And I'm starting to think, as much as I'm a Cool Boy fan, I am starting to think that a lot of what he wants to do is size differential, but that's what I'm gauging right now. I could be wrong. But Bozy got somebody else besides those two, besides Cool Boy, besides Ennis, Boots. He got somebody else. I can't think of who the guy is. But I'm just saying, if I have to go between the boxers of that day, which is Bozy versus Robert Garcia, I mean, it's evident Robert Garcia has the harder track record. He has the accolades. He just got and they're saying that doesn't mean Bozy won't get his own, but stat for stat, it's Robert Garcia. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Like, I don't know. And it doesn't mean Bozy isn't great. He's just not as proven as Robert Garcia.
Well, I guess
that's true. I think Bozy needs some more time and some more fighters to prove it.
I guess we won't. Man, this is a good fight. I'm just trying to. You know what? I'm gonna put it like this.
That's what we got. Yeah, Bozy got Catterall, right? That's what we got. I knew he had somebody else.
Golden Boy got a card on too. Okay.
What is the Golden Boy card on?
I have no idea. I think it's on. Berweezy said. I think it's on the Zone.
Shout out to Berweezy with the $9.99 in the super chat. Says, did you know Golden Boy has a card on tonight? I don't know who any of the fighters are, but it's on the Zone.
Okay, so why Oscar ain't promote that? And you know what? That's one of my biggest pet peeves with Dana. Like, nobody can cuss out Oscar but me, in my opinion. You feel me? Like, I'm the only one that can file my grievances with Oscar, and this is my other grievance. Oscar, now why you ain't promote this card? Because we ain't know nothing about this. Just like we didn't know about Zuffa. We didn't know nothing about this. Like, Oscar, you know better.
I'm absolutely with you, Key. And I feel like as boxing fans, we don't gatekeep enough. Y'all just let people just rag dog your legends, and then boxing, because y'all don't revere your legends. And I know Oscar's who he is today. But when I tell y'all all the stuff y'all claim y'all wanted is what Oscar was. Oscar was a dog for everybody. Okay, so I'm always, pardon me, always gonna kind of tip my hat to him. But I do see it. Sanchez versus Ramirez. This card. This might be good.
I didn't even see that.
All right, let's hear this video they told me to listen to for another episode of Dumb Ish Max Kellerman is saying. Here we go, y'all.
Oh, Lord. I've been a Max Kellerman hater longer than people knew who Max Kellerman was.
I just want a bottle of water. Thank you. All right, here we go, y'all. Shout out to Andre Pitts with the $5 in the super chat. Shout out to Alan Sostan with the $5 in the super chat. Hold on, y'all. Let me open it up, see what y'all had to say. Alan Sostan say for support. Shout out Alan Sostan.
Hey, Alan. Hey, Blaze.
Andre Pitts with the $5 in the super chat for support. And
hey, Blaze.
The $2. He says, "Good evening, ladies."
Salute.
All right.
Hey, David Lynch.
So
I'm trying to make sure we say hi to everybody that's coming in. It's heavy up in here tonight.
They be going down on ladies' night. I'm trying to told y'all. All right, here we go. Put one in the chat if you can hear it.
Al Heyman was so good at his job that he was clowning these networks. He was out negotiating the networks to the point where they were giving you an inferior product because his fighters were getting overpaid for lesser fights. We weren't getting overpaid. In that, I'm happy for every dollar we made. Freddie Hernandez. Yeah, right. This is the golden child of Al Heyman right here. But it is admirable that Al Heyman not only did his job so well, but was helping fighters get rich while he was doing it. He created a climate where fighters started to begin to believe that they were worth more money. I don't mean to me. You're worth all the money in the world to me, the fighters. But I mean to the marketplace than they actually were. And so now it became difficult to make fights.
You really want us to change our mindset, right? The fact that we were putting our health in jeopardy every time we stepped in that ring. So we had to make sure to get every penny that we could.
Yes.
Like, every time we stepped in there. I mean, that's the mindset that he put in our minds on a regular basis.
And good for him. But when he does his job that well, then Andre Berto doesn't have to take the best fights to make the money, and now me as the consumer doesn't get to see the best Andre Berto fights. My point is, fighters started thinking
Berto.
Al was juicing the market. In that climate, big fights stopped getting made. Because fighters are thinking, I'm making all this money for not taking a risk. You want me to fight that killer or their managers?
Oh, my God.
Much more money? Into that terrible situation for the consumer stepped Turkey Al-Sheikh, who said, oh, okay, wait, what are your petty differences? It's over $1 million or $2 million? Here it is. Here's my gift to the boxing world. Everyone, take this fight. Now the problem is...
He's overpaying. Like I said, I'm not mad at that. If you're going to give me the money, we're going to fight whoever you want me to fight.
But Trey, now the problem is... Boots and Virgil can't get made for $6 million plus for the fighters? Do you think the average person on the street in this country knows who Boots and Virgil are? So that's really the problem here.
So what did Turkey solve, Max?
Yes, he was clowning.
Max,
2 cents. Do you have your money thing
Exactly.
going?
He literally like the point is so close and he missed it. He literally just proved that Turkey didn't solve the problem but exacerbated it. Meanwhile, what Al Heyman did actually got us more fights than we ever would have got. He's so he was so close to the point and still missed it.
How is Al Heyman?
No, what they're trying to do. 2 cents. Is that your money thing or is that me? Is that on my end?
Mine it's off.
Okay, it just went off for me. I'm sorry. That my thing is still tripping.
I don't know.
I think
you hear that. That was wild.
I know that's super crazy. That was still on my end. Okay, so this is what I think he was doing. What he's trying to do again, what I told you guys before, is that there's a wedge being drawn in boxing. I don't care what nobody say. And what he's attempting to do, of course, is say, now look at what he's done. He's saturated the market. That's what he's saying with Al Heyman. He's financially saturated the market, but you don't get the fights that you want. So much so that he had to bring up Andre Berto. The last time Andre Berto fought was a couple years ago on, I think that was David Morrell's card, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me in the chat.
The last time he fought was on the very last Showtime card on the undercard.
Thank you. I think that was David Morrell in Minnesota, huh?
Right. It was they ended it in Minnesota.
They be making. Yes. How come Top Rank get criticized for them bum ass fights they be making?
And
because the head.
You know something? You know, if we didn't hear a whole campaign of Top Rank is broke.
But you know exactly.
They went without a network for years. Now they on Tubi, and we did not hear Top Rank broke.
And nobody is saying nothing. Nobody is saying nothing.
That's how I know. We know what it is, and you got a few of these people who are just, got some self-hate with themselves, and we already know what it is.
No, but what he's doing is he's saying everything that he just said is about Turkey, but he's placing the blame on someone else because, of course, who doesn't have 6 million plus, like he said, for Boots and Virgil Ortiz? Okay, first of all, they're trying to get that's going to be a $20 million fight if it stands how it is today. Okay, if it stands how it is today, Virgil and them want 10 million. How do we forget that? And it's all about markets. Remember, you can't just put on any type of fight.
Aircraft carrier. Do
You
know
go
what's
ahead.
going on? Do you know the condition that Top Rank is in right now? Aircraft carrier. Do you know? Or you just chatting?
Now, yeah, that is a good point. But what I'm saying is,
real quick, my bad,
go
Keith,
ahead.
real quick. I literally said, and this is what gets me like every day, some of these people prove that they lack comprehension skills. I literally said, did I make a claim that Top Rank was broke? No. But did I make that claim? That's not what I said. But now he's in the chat talking about Top Rank broke. Bob got money. Bob and Top Rank are not the same thing. They're not the same thing. Not only are they not the same thing, I didn't make a claim that either one was broke. I said what Bob's my aircraft carrier, and that's why I say he has to be a bot, or he just has very limited.
Trolling you. He trolling you.
He gotta be because what I said was that we heard PBC was broke despite them getting network deal after network deal. Meanwhile, Top Rank hasn't secured one, and no one is questioning if they're broke. I need him to please. Maybe he's a bot. I'm gonna have to assume he's a bot because there's no way an adult man can be this.
Let me ask y'all a question real quick. Not to cut you off, but look. Blaze says Top Rank is about to give us a unification bout on Tubi. The people are winning. Let me ask y'all a question. Let's say it was about to be a fight, right? Like, let's say I say Key Alexandria is about to fight Chef Juke, right? And then you like, man, and then you like, it's for unification, and you like, hell yeah, I'm gonna watch it now. Unification. Like, does that make you change your opinion about a fight if a belt is involved? I'm just curious because people talk about it like it changes their opinion of the whole situation.
I mean, belts. I think there was a time where belts. Okay, I think belts have their place in boxing, and they have the purpose. What they were, I think they've diluted it by every new belt, every new sanctioning body. They've diluted it, but even in like you look at all people forget that boxing existed decades before, actually maybe a century before a belt was ever a thing.
Wow, really?
People forget that. Like, look up, if you look at, like, okay, what belt did, I'm trying to think, was that belt even existent then for the first black heavyweight champion? And before then, I don't know if those belts existed. They probably did. But then look up Tom Cribb. Okay, I'm going to give y'all some old school names. Tom Cribb and Tom Melanois. There was no belts in existence then. That was back in Europe, back in the day when boxing first started. Belts didn't exist then. That's what the thing is. People act like though the belts, like these belts are only about maybe a century year old. Boxing has been in existence for a long time. And so, like, if you really want century, so yeah, the belts can mean something, but when we go, what people remember are fights. Like for example, people, everybody heard the Thriller in Manila, the Rumble in the Jungle. We associated with a particular amazing fights. Everybody,
and that's what the ring that's what the ring is trying to do with these titles that they come out with.
Right, that they're trying to replicate times of old when the ring was just getting started. And then we have stuff like Hagler vs. Hearns. Everybody knows Hagler vs. Hearns is one of the greatest fights ever. Without Googling, can anyone tell you what belt was on the line? No. And
I'll give you one recent. The majority of people didn't even know that Pacquiao was fighting for a belt when he fought Barrios. Because they just came out to see. His fans just came out to see him in Vegas. That's all they care.
Now, a lot of people don't know that Pacquiao's whole A division champion thing is predicated on a belt that's not even an official belt.
Exactly.
Yeah, the hardcore fans discredit.
And that's what he said. These people who claim they're hardcore fans aren't hardcore fans. They have, well, not everybody, but they don't even study it, and like they weren't outside like I was. They weren't outside. They weren't paying attention then. And so the belts can matter, yes, they matter, and that's why certain some unifications matter more than others, because of all that wiggle room versus back in the day. When it was just the WA, which was the NBA, if there was just one belt, everybody had to fight up the ranks for that one belt. So you couldn't skip around nobody. You couldn't skip around a style again, like you couldn't just bounce around or avoid that. You had to fight it. And if you fought them and you lost, you lost. You couldn't be champion. That's the difference. And the more belt you add, the more room you have to skip around and do that day around. And so it did kind of weaken some of it. And that's just what it is.
But I think too, though, now peep game. Although, because some people need the belt. Some fighters need the belt to do what they need to do. Okay. I hate to be that one, but there are several fighters currently right now that need that belt for that recognition to just get the fights. Not from the fans. I'm not talking about the
So
fans.
Rich, you enjoyed that Zuffa card tonight?
Thank you, Tuber. He trolling. Now he's trolling. But no, I'm just saying though, like some fighters need the belt. Now there are fights that are bigger than the belt. And I'm gonna give 2 examples. No, 3. I'm gonna give you guys 3 examples, okay? In which the fight, even though a belt was put on the line, the event was so huge that you didn't even know. Right? Outside of Earl Spence versus Fred, which we all know was for Undisputed because that's how it was billed to us, right? Ryan versus Tank Davis. That's number 1. Number 2, and y'all might throw a shoe at me, I don't care. But for me, from what I saw, from again, I'm in Chicago, and with the Hispanics that I know in the neighborhoods, this was a huge fight. Canelo versus Berlanga. Y'all might not like that, but the essays was outside. God damn it. Okay, everybody was outside for that fight. That's number 2. It was so big that the the UFC, Dana White, ironically, couldn't even compete with that fight. Those are facts. Those are simple
Yeah, that Spear shit
facts.
was crazy. I know
It
that.
shut, yes, it was shut. Man, Canelo shut all of Vegas down. Okay, that's number 2.
You mean, yeah, like pre-Turkey Canelo?
Yes,
Before
pre-Turkey,
he
where
got
he fought
buried in
Berlanga,
Saudi Arabia during
that
Cinco de
was
Mayo?
PBC.
Yeah, right.
Correct.
You right. And you notice that real side note, you notice that all Canelo's biggest gates are all with PBC.
Exactly.
But that's my
Exactly.
question to y'all
But
about the PBC is like, why do people act like they don't put on good cards? I don't understand it.
no, they do. They do. And then hold on.
They put on the revenue. They put on the cars that not only produce revenue, but drive fans. Because at the end of the day, that is what is going to sustain boxing. That's what makes the sports. If we look at other sports, that's what makes the sport what it is the fan base. And when you shrink the fan base, which is what has been happening in the U.S. intentionally, the sport dies.
absolutely. I agree with both of y'all statements. And then the third fight that did well, that people low key wasn't expecting to do well, was the Tank versus Lamont Roach fight of 2025. That did very well in New York City.
No, it did.
Right?
It did very well. You
It
know
did
why that
very
fight
well.
did well, and it was so
Mhm.
crazy. I knew it was gonna. It's a Tank fight. It's gonna do well. But let me tell you, when I realized it was gonna do very well. So I don't be on social media like that. When I had like a little cousin like, oh, you heard about Tank? Like she's a girl. Like she don't watch boxing like I do. But apparently she saw it on some type of social media app and like, oh, they cute. Now I'm like, little girl, she's like, can you take me with you to the fight? I said, absolutely not, young lady. Like when I started realizing that people outside of boxing was checking for that particular fight. And that wasn't just him. It first happened with Frank Martin.
Yeah.
It started getting attention of a lot of ladies. And I was like, oh, and there's not a lot of boxing matches that are bringing the attention of the woman market. And women we like going to events and stuff, and so that's something that people keep forgetting. And that's why I was like, but I didn't expect him and Roach to do as well as it did, but I figured it out with my little, few young
Right.
people,
But my point is, going back to the belts with those fights, right, that we just mentioned. No, the average person did not know that there was a belt on the line. The average person didn't even care. That's when you know that it's bigger. It can be. Some fighters need the belt. Some fighters don't need the belt. You understand? David Benavidez and David Morrell, excellent fight. No belts
one
were
of
on
the
the
best
line.
fights of the year.
Exactly. No
One of
belts
the
were on
best
the
fights,
line.
and I think that was such a good fight. And I recently rewatched that fight, and that was definitely one of the best fights of the year. No, and so when it comes to the belts, I'm not saying the belts don't matter because they do have legacy behind them. Now, this new Zuffa stuff, does it have any legacy? No. It is going to carry any of the belts that Ali and Jack and Frazier and Foreman had? No, it's not. And I think that's the beauty of it. It's about the belts are supposed to present a contingency and a
Right.
lineage.
Right.
That's what makes them special to me. It's a lineage. I held one of the same belts that this amazing person had before me. It's about honoring the people ahead before you and what it represents. And I think it can be a good thing, but it depends on who you're fighting for that belt. But this is not a new thing though. Like, for example, one of my favorite heavyweight fights of all time did not have a belt on the line. And that was George Foreman versus Ron Lyle. If you've never seen that fight,
That's a really good fight.
That is one of the best fights I've ever seen in life. And was a belt on the line? No. But I remember watching it. I rewatched it. I watched the film on it. That was, especially if you like action and heavy punching and people, I think it was probably 7 to 8 knockdowns in that fight. That was a fight. And no belt on the line, but it went down one of the greatest fights in history.
I'll give you a newest one.
Story. But hold
I'll
on,
give you
quick.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Let me tell y'all a story real quick, right, about these belts. So when I first started watching boxing, I used to only watch and I'm sure some of y'all heard me tell this story before, but some of y'all might be new here. Punch that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. When I first started watching boxing, I used to get so frustrated because I used to be like, why is everybody a champion? Like, why does every fight I watch, it feel like everybody got a belt? So one day I called my brother and he was like, oh, he explained it to me. It's 4 sanctioning bodies, it's interim belts, it's whoop-de-whoop, it's this and that, and da-da-da-da-da. And he explained it all to me, and it made me care even less about the belts. Because then I started realizing, oh, this is political. You know what I'm saying? Like they move.
No, you're right.
Here. They doing this. They giving this person the belt to fight this person to get the belt. Like once I realized that was really going on, like I'm not saying that they don't serve no purpose, but it made me less interested in them because the people with them, so to speak, don't necessarily. You know what I'm saying? They don't. It could be whatever reason or way they got it. You know what I'm saying? It's not just like legit in a bracket. You qualify, I guess, kind of like what Dana White is doing now. And even if it's done that way, I still wouldn't really care. Like I more so like the matchups. I want to see good matchups. I want to see good fights. If it's a belt involved, cool. If not, cool. Like I don't really care about undisputed. Like I don't care. Like okay, well, whoop de doo, you want undisputed? That's great, but I would rather see a good style matchup fight that's exciting and competitive than a bullshit ass undisputed fight because you've been waiting for somebody to damn near retire before you try to fight them type shit.
No,
but I think.
You're
oh,
right.
go ahead.
No, go ahead. Oh, my bad, baby. Go ahead.
No, what I was about to say is I'll give you guys a newest one because some people Somebody asked, Kiki must be 25. I'm 36 and proud of it. Hey, NHA2. But I did see the Foreman and Lyle fight. Yes, I did. That was an excellent fight. There were several knockdowns. It was absolutely insane. Man, that was crazy. But again, I come from a family of a father and a mother who both watch, one of their sports is boxing. I grew up on boxing, football, and basketball. So, but aside from that, another big fight where no titles is going to be on the line, but everybody is talking about this
It's
fight.
too rich. It's
If
a
it's
ton of reasons why boxing is not top 10, and me not giving a fuck about the belts is not one of them.
Lord. Okay, hey, too rich. But one of the fights that no belt is really on the line is Virgil Ortiz versus Boots Ennis. No belt is on the line for that fight. Nobody is clamoring to see who's going to be undisputed, who's going to take away, who's going to be the WBA or anything. People just want to see that fight. That's a really good fight. I think we can all agree on it, whether you have Boots winning or Virgil winning. If that fight was announced tomorrow, everybody talking about, like, we having predictions, me, Juke, 2 Cents, we watching film. We finna look at feet. We finna look at everything for this
Oh, and yeah,
fight.
we packing it out. And
We
I
packing it out, and
agree.
there's no belt on the line, but we know that's going to be a good fight. We know that's
I
going to
don't
be,
think
and
it's gonna be a good fight.
while it lasts, I know
Right.
it's going to be a good
So,
fight
so
while it
this is
lasts, because somebody going to sleep in that fight.
That's a
But my
terrible
point,
matchup for Virgil.
but my point is, there's no belt on the line. You see what I'm saying? So I get both stands. Like, people can say the belts matter. Yes, they do for some fighters.
But
Some
let's be
fighters.
honest. Let's be honest. Title fights, right? Like, which fighters? 2 centers in the chat. Let me know which competitive title fights did you guys see last year? Competitive title fights. Competitive.
You want the chat to answer or us?
Both of them, everybody. That's a question for everybody.
I saw Bud versus Madrimal. Wait, no.
Competitive.
Why?
Competitive.
No.
I guess Bud versus Matchmouth was competitive.
But no, you saying last year, that was 2024. You talking about 2025. Okay. Um Dang, it really okay. Shakur versus Zapata. It's low key competitive a little bit.
Now they said Shakur washed Zapata. 9-3, zip 9-3, 9-3 them.
I had it. To be honest with you, I had it 8-4. An argument can be made for 7-5 in favor of Shakur, but at the same time, it was still a good fight. So I would have Shakur versus Zapata. I would have Rolly versus Ryan Garcia. Well, damn, you talking about competitive? Okay. Damn. Tio versus Barbosa was a wash. Chris Eubank versus Conor Benn, part 2.
Somebody say Bivol versus Baturbiev. Was that last year?
Yeah, that was part 2 was, and that was what? Yeah.
Puello and Matias.
That was such a good fight for
That's
me.
a good one. That was
a good fight.
I agree.
Abdullah versus Sam Noakes. Oh my
Gary
god.
Antoine Russell and Puello.
Yeah, Abdullah Noakes was one of my favorite fights last year.
Abdullah and Sam Noakes. That was a good one. Who else y'all got?
Amanda versus Katie Stein. That was alright.
Them fights was whack. They about to fight again, y'all.
Who? I'm not watching that.
Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor.
I'm not watching that. No.
They about to get. Did y'all see that? Is Ronda Rousey really finna fight Amanda Serrano? Is that Ronda
I
Rousey?
don't know.
Katie Taylor. She about to fight one of them, I think.
Well, y'all saw that Holly Holm just lost. I was devastation. I was like, God dang it, Holly. That's my girl right there. I like Holly Holm.
What is saying Pro Box Roach supposed to mean? What does that mean? Tank versus Pro Box Roach was competitive. What does that mean?
You know what? That was a competitive fight, though. I like that fight. To be honest with you, that was one of my top 3 fights of the year.
And God forbid a fighter give you a competitive fight, you crucify him. Like, what's wrong with y'all? What do y'all want from? What do y'all want? from these fighters? I don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand aircraft carrier. Pro Box Roach. I don't get it. I mean, you that one went over my head too, Rich. You got to explain the joke. I missed it.
I was going to say this about the belt, y'all. So I hear what y'all saying, and like Two said, when you described about the situation, like okay, how you were watching boxing and everyone had a belt and all that. I get it because I remember my dad like kind of started getting back into boxing, and he was saying how like I was explaining to him like because he was like he would watch fights, but that just goes to show you he watched fights, but he never paid attention. He just assumed, whoever he really liked was a champion. So I started breaking things back down to him because he kind of took some time away from boxing and explained to him the interim and then the super. Go like, you remember the super, right? He said, yeah, I remember that vaguely in the 90s. Like, yeah. And I had to explain the franchise and all this. And he was like, that's right. And then when he stuck with it, he's like, listen, I don't even want, like, I could tell he just got disinterested.
Yeah.
And it irritated him. It did. And so we were breaking it down. And I was like, and then another thing he kept, this is when he hyper focused. We were watching boxing together. He like, what weight is this guy fighting at? And I'm like, well, this is 135. And he like, no way. Right. So I get what you're saying. I think the belts have its place, and it had its place, but people have kind of like maneuvered out of it. And and that's why I keep a lot of the base we have on this platform is because people are fighting against the old school rules that made.
Let me address NHA2. NHA2, we're not about to do this over here. This is a high IQ platform. High IQ platform. Nobody said the sport should not have no championships. That did not come out of not one person's mouth up here, bro. We're not doing that over here. We're not taking stuff out of context and trying to make a point. This is a high IQ platform. We're not doing that.
Somebody said Virgil versus Madrimov was good. But Reezy, I disagree. I felt like Madrimov put
That
heel
wasn't for a
defeat.
title. That wasn't for a title though. But yeah, and then I said this all the time, Juke. The reason why nobody care about the belts is because the shit is too confusing. It's too confusing. Like nobody is listen, it takes a conscious effort. It took a conscious effort for me to sit down and understand what exactly was going on with those belts. And what I've also realized is what hardcore fans like to do is they like to learn boxing, learn the rules, learn what the belts mean, and then just use it to discredit fighters, be sad and cynical.
No, I agree. And that's why I keep saying and that's why I'm like, I've been going with like the people keep talking about, oh, it's the promoters. Oh, I'm not saying it's the promoters. But guess what? If fans didn't support what the promoters did, we wouldn't have the issue. And that's why I keep talking about everything that's happening recently. We had a whole cheerleading squad for a lot of what happened. And now, because they realized, oh, it ended into, y'all were right. It's about to ruin boxing. Now they want to like distance themselves. But I agree. It's overly complicated. And just you winning, you being unified, whatever, doesn't necessarily mean that you beat the best people because the belts are so overly political, and people want to act like it's not. But this is the thing: people acknowledge they're political when it benefits them, but once their guy's in, it kind of reminds me of politics. Politics is bad. You hate every politician until your person's in, and then it's not. And it can be good. Like I said, there are some divisions where everyone in that division really is like, a good, like I think 154 is kind of like that. Everybody in 154 is pretty good. And I think 154 is one of the last divisions in boxing where it's dangerous. I don't care who you fight, right? But every division ain't like that.
No, nigga, it's a high IQ platform. And your IQ is not that high, and that's okay. And casuals do keep the sport afloat because once the casuals are disinterested in boxing, then what? Because hardcore fans don't buy shit. They sit around and complain and discredit fighters like y'all niggas do on this internet.
I will just say this. If you take that same sentiment to any of the sport, would it work? Imagine telling people in NBA, well, you're just a casual fan and you only just pay for these tickets when they're in your area and it sells out. Matt, do you think that everybody who watches the NBA and the NFL are hardcore fans? Do you think everybody who's watching the Super Bowl are hardcore fans? Imagine if you weren't able to generate that type of fandom and attention during your playoff season, during your even some of your regular season. Imagine if the non-hardcore fans in the NFL, the NBA, the MLB just went away. Do you think those sports would be what they would be?
Think about Devin and Shakur. Don't they have a quote unquote hardcore fan base? Do they sell anything? No.
Somebody said the NBA doesn't have pay-per-view. It's a different model. The NBA is privatized. There was a time when you used to be able. Go ahead.
The reason why, okay, the NBA doesn't have pay-per-view, but the NBA has a consistent casual fan base.
But it's not even that though. It's privatized. There was a time,
right?
There was a time when you could watch it. Yeah, there was a time you could watch it on CBS, NBC, etc. Now it's on NBA TV, ESPN.
Too Rich, what do you think is gonna happen if all casuals leave and they don't ever watch boxing? Too Rich. Like, what are you saying? Casuals can't keep the sport afloat. The hardcores aren't keeping it afloat. They don't buy nothing.
If we didn't need casuals, then boxing wouldn't have went down. So he doesn't get it. Okay.
Because guess what? It's going to be hardcores that's about to be paying for them subscriptions. Because casual fans are not about to pay monthly to watch boxing. They don't watch boxing like that. They watch boxing. And
part of it is because we don't have the stars. If you look at the NBA and the NFL, there's multiple stars. Names that built themselves up. That's not what these entities that you guys are promoting, like Turkey. Turkey is not building any particular fighter up. He's actually dimming the light of the names we did have. He's doing the opposite of what the NFL is doing.
Wait a minute. Big Coop said hardcores rarely go to fights. What?
That's what I'm saying, Keith. That's what I'm telling you, Keith.
Okay, y'all are embarrassing us at this point because
I was just at the Kenneth Sims. I was just at the Kenneth Sims and Duarte fight in Chicago. Come on, man.
Oh my God, I was at the Key. I was at that fight too.
Y'all hardcores. He's talking about the hardcores that sit on this internet that I be saying I'm going to war with.
But that's what I'm saying. 2 cents.
They don't buy tickets. They don't go to fight.
Stop. Okay, 2 cents. I think we need some renaming. The guys that you're going up against on this app are not hardcore. They're just chronically online. I know they call. Listen to me. 2 cents. They're not hardcore fans. They're just chronically online. That's a difference. Some people have a lot of time throughout their day and online all day. That doesn't make them a hardcore boxing fan. That's when I started talking about, okay, I saw this Turkey stuff a mile away because I've seen it in other times. They don't know what I'm talking about because they weren't there. They don't know. They're just being chronically online and trolling all day. There are people who are just online all the time because they have this time and that's how they socialize. And people are mixing that when I talk about boxing all the day online with being a hardcore fan. They don't. So I think we need to it's not the hardcores are the problem.
It's the online fans.
It's these chronically online people who have taken side with factions. Like this, I promise you it is. Because if you were to talk to them in-depthly about boxing, they don't know.
Damn.
Hannibal said,
I gotta hit you with the bomb. What Hannibal say?
He said boxing will be fine without Tank. Nobody mentioned.
But this is the thing. Tank. This is perfect example. Exhibit A. Tank has never been the topic throughout this whole conversation. We've been online now about an hour. Tank was never the conversation. But one thing that gentleman or that AI account, that body count Hannibal was do is mention Tank 257 times, despite him not being any of the topics that we've discussed today.
Hey, Big Supreme, this shit funny.
They literally, their whole point is to come and find people to argue with about Tank, because I don't know what he did to them. I don't know. He's not the topic. And it's because they're so new to boxing. They've never been able to have a conversation without having Tank as a way to juxtaposition their position, like just position their argument with. I've liked boxing before Tank was born. They haven't. They don't know anything before Tank, and they not gonna know anything after Tank. That Mr. Hannibal, if Tank was to disappear tomorrow and Thanos was about to snap him away, he would have nothing to talk about.
And I want to get back because they're mentioning casuals in hardcore. Listen, you can have hardcore fans, right? You can have hardcore fans, you can have casual fans, but none of that means anything unless you know your market. You can't put on a fight in Colorado and expect that it's going to do astronomical numbers when your market dictates that this fighter and this fighter would do well in a Texas or Vegas or New York, etc. That's how all business works. That's number one. Okay. You got it. And all these promotional companies, especially the PBC, know their market. That's why they
I
have
agree, and
been
that's what I
able.
say. Hannibal
Yes.
absolutely, he's a bot. It's a trigger.
Oh.
Okay, Tank is he has a big dog Willie, or he botastic? Because like,
No, I think he's just trolling.
Yeah, but I'm saying, what grown man trolls? I'm sorry, like what adult male with any emotion in life comes online to troll? You're like, I thought I'm from an era when men like sports and talked about
we well past
sports,
that.
and now they just come online. What happens to the? I'm gonna shut up before I go too deep. Okay.
But yeah, so and
Peace be to y'all. Peace to y'all.
right. So it's, you need to have both, okay? Or you can have more than the other. It doesn't matter. As long as you know really your market, your niche, who you're selling your product to, which will be boxing, they will buy your product and they will come out and to support it. Now, some people in the chat are comparing it to the NBA, NFL, all this other stuff. Again, boxing is not like them. Boxing is one of the only last sports left that does not have rules and regulations like the rest of those sports. There's no union, there's no cohesiveness in anything. What the Los Angeles Athletic Commission will rule, or the California Athletic Commission will rule, different than what New York or Atlanta, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All of them. Can you hear me?
You got a little robotic towards
You must
the end.
have moved. You gotta go back to where you was at.
Yeah, could you like repeat what you
But
said?
now,
You still feel a little
that's better.
computerized?
okay, now?
Much better.
Okay.
Supreme, why you going so hard, bro?
They ain't Big Supremes.
Big Supreme.
But no. No, but what I'm saying is boxing is not, because they keep comparing it to the NBA and the NFL. Boxing is not regulated like them. What the California State Athletic Commission will rule on will be different than what New York, Texas, Miami, Atlanta, etc. will rule on. It's operated very differently. There's no, we don't even. I'm still advocate for them to get health care, even after they're done, for them to get some type of a social security push, once they're done with their boxing career. So we have to be careful with comparing it to NBA, NFL, two totally different entities. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's too totally
Hannibal,
different.
boxing is not failing because fighters are ducking real smoke. Boxing is not failing at all, actually. Like, it's not failing.
Never failing. I don't know why they were saying that stupid shit.
I think
the thing y'all didn't realize is boxing was transitioning like all other sports, because people don't watch network TV, they stream. So they had
right.
to
And I think I agree. It was going through a transition because people stream more than having regular cable network TV. And they took that and said, no, let's go all the way left. It's like, you know what? These few boxing entities, they're not giving me everything I want. They're not perfect. And I like my orange juice freshly squeezed with no pulp. They gave me orange juice with a little bit of pulp. So you know what I'm gonna do? Instead of trying to get the pulp out, F it, let's drink cyanide. And that's what they did. They literally said, let's go from like,
0 to 100 real quick.
like you went from like in reverse though. It was like we had a year, and I think I said it yesterday. We had a year where we had boxing was actually like because we had the 90s, right, which was great, and then we had like a down period, and it was starting to build back up to goodness. But apparently, the guy who was leading that charge was a little too brown. No one liked it. And so, but you had some of his own people who look like him go against him because their favorite fighters didn't fight with him. And so they went against what was great for boxing. That one gave us good fights. Two, the fighters, you didn't have to strip anyone's human rights and dignity. They were still getting paid, not just overpaid. They weren't getting overpaid. They were getting paid the sales that they brought in. And that's, to me, is the primary difference. And people say, oh, Al Heyman overpaid people. He didn't overpay people. They got the money that was due to them because their blood and sweat and tears is what sold those tickets. And he didn't steal it those funds like the guys of the past did. And so they claim that is, oh, you're overpaying. No, because Al Heyman, as great as he is not getting in there taking no punches to the head. So they got the revenue. So I just think that what people did was that they made an overcorrection. Things weren't perfect. They were getting better, but it wasn't better under the guy that you look and you listen to these guys who the old school boxing who wanted it back of, oh, they want a situation where the boxers don't have any rights, so they can make all the money off these fighters. They damage them. Like we keep talking about people like Sweet Pea and all these fighters who did their thing and died poor or didn't get their just due, while the promoters are millionaires and billionaires off of it. And you got us back to that position. You literally promoted the people who were exploiting the guys who are giving you the value. It was like, yes, I want to see you fight the best, but I don't want you making any profit from it. I want you to die broke. And now you've helped them do that. Mm-hmm. So I don't get that, but that's pretty much what we got here. And I'm praying I'm wrong. I would love to be wrong.
Well,
I would love for them to say you wrong. Listen, Juke will be like, hey, I was wrong. I'll throw a party over it. I don't think I am, though.
Except the history you don't know. There's nothing new except the history you don't know. Honestly, y'all, I don't know it's almost like they really just want to pass the legislation. And I think Dana White is going to be under so much scrutiny. Like, he's under federal investigation now. I know like so many people are watching him right now. And he's about to go to jail. It looks like he's about to go to jail for real. Key, what is he? Don't he got a hearing coming up and he has to?
It's supposed to be in February.
He has to turn over that evidence or something like that.
Oh, he has a hearing coming up. Oh, so they don't care. They don't care about tracking hearings when it's. Oh, okay.
He's been hiding evidence or destroying evidence or something.
Oh,
you're talking about Dana White.
Yeah, I'm talking about Dana White. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I thought he had a hearing this week about.
He did. He did, and the judge is about to rule on it. 560. The judge is about to discuss whether he tampered. It's spoliation of evidence. That's what it's called. Spoliation of evidence.
Why would he do that? What is Dana White hiding?
Because listen, they trying to get that man for another 300 mil. I'm spoilating all type of evidence. Do you hear me? You're not about to
get he going to jail for that? Is he in trouble for that?
I'm not sure if he's going to jail. You know how you feel me? But I know that that's what they're doing. That's what they. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
You,
you.
you just dipped out for a second. Go
Oh, I'm
ahead.
sorry. No, that's what they're doing. I know if they tried to charge me with that, that's what I would be doing. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. But I don't think he's facing any jail time. It didn't say that. But what could occur is that they have to hand over everything if the judge rules that he did tamper with evidence. Now, we're waiting on the judge to rule on that. That's the last thing I heard about it, which was yesterday, that they're still waiting on a judge to determine if he or his lawyers or whatever tampered with that. But that's another case, and the damages that's being sought by those fighters, again, being sued by fighters, is about 300 million. Is about 300 million. Now that's just that one. And then there is the investigation that was launched, a soft investigation. It's real quiet, but that is with the betting, UFC betting. So a few fighters remember they came out and said, yo, I was approached about throwing fights. And then next thing you know, it went from just a handful of fighters saying that to
Yep.
now they're saying that it's over 100.
Yep.
It's over 100. So word on the curb is that he's being looked into that. Dana White did issue a statement saying that he's never heard anything like that, but he gonna cop a plea. But it's not looking too good. So we could be watching Dana White within the next for a year. So from last year of 2025, when he had to pay out that 300 or 400 million dollars to the fighters, until this year in 2026, Dana White could potentially come out about $600 million, over $600 million.
Right. And so what I'm understanding is 375 million. He has to settle on antitrust. And I was saying that yesterday, like when people were talking about this new Zuffa boxing deal, and like, oh, we don't know, we gotta see. I was saying how I already see within the writing how he could potentially exploit these fighters in the same way he did previously, which is what got him sued. So it's my understanding, he had to set up for 375 million, wage suppression, monopoly, which is why I was saying that $200 a month thing gives them incentives to not give you a fight if they don't want to. If revenue ain't up, they have a clause to incentivize not paying you. But also, to my understanding, there was some type of like hiring firm that was also suing them. So it's just crazy to me how like people are so. And I'm not. Does it mean that you won't learn your lesson and do better? No, but I just find it so weird that when it comes to like the sport, how when it comes to fighters, it's like, oh, you got accused of this thing you did, and I'm not saying they don't, because like, yeah, I think the scrutiny should be on everybody when you get accused for something. But my thing is that how different it is, because like you have Dana White who has a settlement of 375 million for all the most horrific things, and he's run UFC into the ground. Like that's why I asked earlier, who is currently a star in the UFC? And everybody kept giving me these names of no one can give me a current. So he has not been able to sustain the UFC. And the UFC is in comparison to boxing is very young. You gotta remember how old Top Rank is, how old boxing is, how old Matchroom is. Like Top Rank been around like before I was like before most of us was born.
PBC is the newest jacket.
Right. PBC and that's what's crazy. They get the most scrutiny and they're the newest. Meanwhile, they're literally the only outfit in boxing where the head guy wasn't sued. And they get the most scrutiny. And they've been in boxing the least amount of years. Al Heyman has never been sued. We can't say that about Frank Warren. We can't say that about Eddie Hearn. We can't say that about Aaron. We can't say that about we can't say that about Dana White. Any of these, but they've been scrutinized the most. And so I just think it's crazy that in the short time UFC has been around, they have such a massive claim against them. And people are like, and not only a massive claim against them, but now the UFC right now, that's why I'm asking, because I don't know. I don't claim know everything. Who are the stars right now? And every name they gave me is somebody I remember from a long time ago. So he didn't even sustain his own business. And you're saying run boxing.
Ooh, let me let Big Dre video play real quick. We're gonna be back after this quick commercial break.
Featuring some of your favorite DMV fighters. Headlined by the fast and fearless Brian Flores versus Starling Castillo. Featuring Jordan the Iceman Roach, Trayvon Marshall, Jeffrey Yu, David Whitmire, and the power and experience of the original Ben Johnson. One ring, one night, no excuses. Don't think, don't blink. Get your tickets now. So when the bell rings, you'll be there. Tickets are available online through AXS or at the live hotel and casino box office.
Amen.
All right. That was Big Dre. Put a one in the chat if y'all enjoyed Big Dre's voiceover for the fight coming up. Blaze, people, peace, say nice promo. Somebody
Wait a minute. Wait, whoa. Al Heyman owes. Wait, what did they say? Heyman still holds Walona D. Reed $900 million.
You know what? No, it's all good. Too rich, show proof.
How does he owe somebody? How you owe somebody
No,
$900
it's all
million?
good.
You
I
ain't getting
love
that
when
back.
people make these type of claims because it gives them the burden of proof. Show proof. Back your claim up. Back it up. And that Waddell Reed thing has been like a thing. Yeah, show proof. That show proof.
It's like I've been hearing the same stories over and over
for like
since I
10
started watching.
years. It's a decade old BS. They told meanwhile, Top Rank don't have a network. They're like, but PBCOs. So Mr. Too Rich, and that's no disrespect to you. And I don't mean to challenge you because I feel like if you're gonna make a claim, I assume that you're correct. And I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm saying that I want you to educate us. Could you show us where PBC owes this money? Please provide the link. And if you're correct, and I'll like, oh, they do. Wow. Go ahead and back that up. Please. So when I make claims, I back it up. So I just want you to educate the room.
Key with the T.
I didn't hear that. See Wallow and Reed $900 million. I'm with you. You gotta show that.
Yeah, go ahead and post that. You know,
it's like y'all know, like
it's easy to find. That's because there's not so many.
It's like a PBC.
It's not Wallow and Reed. That's what's so funny. It's not Wallow and Reed. I know who he's referring to was not Wallow and Reed. So already he wrong right there, but that's cute. But go ahead. You're right. It's Wallow and Reed. You know, Wallow and Reed and them, the Reeds and them. I got you, baby. But go ahead and post that proof.
Oh man, Dana
White. Go ahead and post that evidence.
Talent because UFC is the brand, and he doesn't want anybody to transcend like McGregor was able to do. Damn. But that's what people want. They listen. People don't want a American superstar boxer. They want everybody to be squished down to the same level. I don't know why they want that, but to me, that's what it seemed like they want.
Well, I think this is what I think. I think the change happened once they had the Ali Act, and the only one outfit that was been able to make a lot of money with the Ali Act is only a few outfits, PBC being one of them, right? Because Al Heyman's model, which is why he was sued by all the other promotional companies. You have to pay the fighters what they're worth, because there was a time where you didn't have to expose to the fighters the deal you were. So let's say I say, hey, I'm gonna come to you as a promoter, or a manager, I'm saying, hey, I have this deal for your fighter, and the deal was worth, I don't know, I'm just gonna give it a round number of 10 million, right? I want this fighter to fight for 10 million, and it's gonna cost all the expenses, right? But I know I'm your manager and I'm your promoter, so I know they're offering you 10 million. Before the Ali Act, they did not have to expose all the original details of that sum. So they could say, hey, this guy wants you to fight. He gonna give you 3 million, champ. 3 million. And of that 3 million, you gotta pay me my percentage. And then you gotta pay me my promotion percentage in my man. So now I'm making a percentage off your 3 million 2 times. I'm making it out as a manager fee and a promotional fee. But remember, he really offered 10, but I didn't tell you that.
That's
They
diabolical.
pocketed that extra. Right. That was the whole purpose of these amendments. And we're going back to the day of old. So to the point where, and people are like, well, everybody had to fight back then. Yes, but people know that now. So everybody expects it to go back to that time of old. Is that going to happen? People are just going to not
No.
box. They're going to find other revenues. And it's going to eventually kill boxing. But people don't get it. And they, people have to learn the hard way, unfortunately, which kills the sport. So
D1 says, if you hey, this had me crying. D1 said, if you can steal 900 million from anywhere, they deserve to have it stolen. Ooh, go ahead, Key.
D1 gonna cut your ass out. I don't know why y'all be trying D1. I don't know why y'all be trying D1, honey. But one thing, or
Hey,
it's gonna
y'all,
be a
real
slick
quick.
cuss out.
Mr. Too Rich got the name now. He had to go. He did his Googles, y'all. He got
Top
the
Rank
name
lawsuit
right.
alleges that Waddell and Reed and Al Heyman conspired. Okay, so the question, so
But
that says
wait a minute.
alleges.
Wait a minute. He said
What was
Wallow
the
and Reed
judgment?
before, though, y'all. He said Wallow and Reed.
Absolutely, but see, the word in that is alleges, so that implies that it hasn't been to court yet. So what is the judgment, Too Rich? Don't worry, I'll wait. But anyway,
So he basically told us rumors. He tried to tell us about some stuff that happened. He didn't know the proper terms. He didn't know what he's talking about. He Googled some stuff real quick. He was like Wallow and reading them, Wally and Ronaldo and them. And now
and look, I plead the fifth. If you don't get it right, honey, I ain't never heard of it.
He said he was like Willa Fred and Mimi and them, and then he finally came back with the right term. And now he said
He said it. He said it, girl. He said Waddell.
let that go.
So you telling me Al Heyman and somebody with a lot of money came in and quote unquote tried to monopolize
the top rank. Okay, he said the top rank lawsuit alleges baby top rank lost the lawsuit.
I know. I'm waiting for him to say, because it says alleges. I'm like, okay, show the judgment.
Who was
it rendered for?
Literally like 8 years behind. He's 8 years behind. He's 8 years. He's like, well, top rank alleges baby. They lost that lawsuit 8 years ago.
They lost it and they changed.
Please stop.
Just that they won the suit. Exactly. They won, honey. They won. It's okay.
Like,
it's okay.
The BBC owes them money. Why did it took him like 30 minutes to get the names right?
Now you come up with the real verdict. Trying to deflect.
And like, oh, they
that
lost.
Dana White got active cases. Dana White is going from courtroom to courtroom. In one courtroom, he is fighting the Muhammad Ali Act. He walking across the room.
All I know is Heyman owes somebody some money. So
it's okay.
Yeah,
we got
Dana
you,
White
Rich.
got 2 court cases in the same building. He got 2
in the same.
You get what you're trying to say. I'm sorry.
We got you too, Rich. We got you. He
talked
said,
to
"I
one
told y'all
judge.
Turkey studied Heyman. Turkey ain't studied Heyman with stuff that he been doing."
That is so dumb to say. That is so dumb
He
to
said
say.
Al Heyman over Lima now.
Turkey ain't done nothing nowhere near, not even close. You can't hold a 10-foot pole to anything Turkey has
Exactly.
done and compare it to Al Heyman. That's egregious. That is it's actually disrespectful if I'm honest.
Salute and thank father. Good to see y'all. Exactly.
You
Turkey
Oh
is
breaking
my
up.
Heyman
God,
2.
that is so damn
Oh
funny to
man, can you hear me
me.
now?
Yeah, you
I
better
can
now.
hear you, baby.
I was saying salute to Dank Father and Knight Rider. He said Turkey is Heyman 2.0. Not even close. Not even
So
they're trying to get to that level.
there's Turkey over Lima now.
Big Supreme said they owe Juanita now.
They go, why Nita and them? Like, Turkey over Juanita and them, they cousins again. Oh, y'all are funny on this app.
It's okay. Too Rich, we not answering no more of your questions. You done. But,
How much you think Turkey lost
Lord.
in a year?
Stay on Google.
How much you think Turkey lost in a year? So what do y'all think? Terrence Crawford say he's coming back out of retirement, but he wants $100 million to fight.
What?
Yep. Yeah, that's what I heard. That he's supposed to be coming out of retirement by this year. And he does. Bernie, the boxer, said 100 mil, and it's been floating around there for a minute that he does want a substantial amount of money, over 50 million. And I was making an argument, Jude, that who up there can you get that for? Because I don't know. I don't know. Outside of Canelo, I said Jake Paul. I said maybe Benavidez, but Bo Magnum already said, hell no, we're not getting up with Benavidez. I don't know who he could make that with. The only viable option, 2 cents, in my opinion, is the rematch with Canelo Alvarez.
Okay. Canelo biggest payday against Bud, tax-free Crawford. What?
Ain't none tax free. Them taxes hit both of them.
What you think, Juke?
Wait. Okay, so wait a minute. Y'all said that. Okay, my bad. I had to step off for a second. I had a phone call. So you said that Bud is considering coming back for what? Is that a
For
rumor?
50 over for at least $100 million. He's thinking about. So Dana White came out and said that Bud Crawford will, like, he's talking about, talking to Bud to come back this year. So rumors are speculating, and I heard a whisper that Bud could potentially be fighting in the fall of 20, coming out of retirement for a fight. But the problem is, but he could potentially want over 50 to $100 million, okay, from Turkey, because we know that he got that deal with Turkey. The question is, who in the heck outside of Canelo is going to guarantee him that payday?
I don't know. And not only that, is that okay? I mean, maybe Turkey and they're keeping something in the tuck. I don't want to I don't know. I'm be honest with you. If I think of Bud Crawford, and he's done his thing. Is there some things to be imagined in his career? Yes. Who do I really want to see him fight? Do I want to see him rematch Canelo? No. I will say this: Canelo, as a champion, if he had a rematch clause, yes, he's owed it. Do I care to see it? No. And right now at this point, I the only fight the only fight I care to see Bud in that I think is I want to see him somewhere at 54. I don't think he's gonna go that far down to 154. Part of me think the reason why he kind of left is because of
He already ducked that 54 smoke, Juke.
I'm not gonna say duck, but everybody know I wanted Bud versus Boots. That's what I wanted. We didn't get it. Other than that, there's no other fight I really want to see him in. I don't really care enough to don't get me wrong. supported every Bud fight there was, every pay-per-view, even ones that shouldn't have been pay-per-view. I've supported all of them. I just think at this point, like, you gotta give me a fight that I really, really wanted, And I got the Canelo fight wasn't that. I didn't care. The only fight I really, really wanted that I got was the Spence fight. So I don't know, but you know what? It's all about what Turkey's willing to spend. And right now, what it appears to me is that they're cutting the spending. And so I don't know. And it depends on if they look at the numbers and say, okay, how much, and maybe it did so well on Netflix, maybe they can get another deal. But you're right. Who? I would say Benavidez. Him and Benavidez will make a big, would get some money. Not that as big as him and Canelo though. I don't know. I think that's it. I really don't. I can't think of anyone he would make that big of a bank with. Unless he was to go all the way up and fight like an AJ. I don't know.
AJ, he might.
He would have to do something because, like, at this point, and that's the problem when boxing no longer has stars, and that's why we keep saying there's certain boxing outfits that are not building names. They're not building stars, and that's not what Turkey's doing. He's just taking the good names we got and putting them on undercards. And I can't think of a single person he can fight. I mean, maybe Canelo Part 2, but at this point, I think people have written Canelo off. It would probably have to be if it ain't Benavidez, I don't know.
Somebody said, or aircraft carrier said, nobody's paying $100 million for one fight. I will say though, aircraft, remember for 2 fights, and I know it's not just one, but for 2 fights, Canelo got paid over $100 million. I think his was what 137 million he made. And God, I wouldn't even know what to do with that money. I wouldn't even know what. I'm thinking about it. Like, good God Almighty, I wouldn't even know what to do with that type of money.
I would.
137 million. So we can't say he said take the 50 and sit down for Bud, but come on, man, like
I think this is a thing. I think like so who is suggesting the 100 million? Who's saying that? Is it Bud team or
that's Bud team?
Right. Okay. And again, and I could be wrong. They're and this is the problem that Turkey may have created. I could be wrong. Is that it got them in these high number sets, right? Like he had to overpay for a short amount of time. What we've been you and I, Key, been reading about how they've had cash flow issues. They're having to cancel certain projects. I don't see that as feasible unless they can make money back on that fund, and they haven't been able to make that yet, and that's the problem because oil prices are down. So I don't know, and it just got the expectation at a different level. That might explain why we have all the people around him like, oh, I want $1 gazillion to fight this guy with a losing record. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't see it. The only person I can see him fighting at that type of money is like, oh, Mayweather. If Mayweather will come out and do an exhibition, I can see that. Maybe I don't know.
Nobody paying him no $100 million to fight Mayweather. Who is Mayweather? Nobody even worried about Mayweather no more.
I know, but Mayweather still commands. If Mayweather was to come out and fight a name that they think he could possibly get hurt by, is going to sell crazy. He's still a name. I know you think he don't. He's not. If Floyd, because let me tell you something, people have a bloodlust when it comes to this man. They never got to see him beaten, and people will pay good dollar because that's the investment. Some people, not all, have an investment in seeing him hurt. And then you got people like me who is a fan of his who just cannot support him. That together is a powder keg. And then you got the Bud fans who go, because you have this Bud you have people saying, oh, Bud would have beat Floyd, right? Now, do I believe that? No, I don't. I would have picked, but people have the right to their say. I'm telling you, it would sell crazy. It would.
Wow, that's wild.
It's wild, but it is. And you know why? Because back then they built those names. Floyd, the reason why Floyd can make money, and this is I keep trying to sit home. The reason why Floyd can make money off his name years after he retired is because he built his name properly. Same way with Manny Pacquiao. As much as I want Manny to go away, the reason why he will always he's always going to top everyone is because he built his name and his fandom. They didn't rely on some rich guy from Saudi Arabia to give them money. They brick by brick built that fan base, and that fan base ain't going nowhere. Once you build a fan base, your money, you're good. That's not what they're doing now. They want a quick check, and it's not sustainable. It can get you here to there, but it's not sustainable. Floyd can come back in any moment and make millions. Everybody can't do that. The people who fight with Turkey are not going to be able to do that.
Yeah. Play out. He said, "Bud to Canelo fans, he's the face of the sport." Okay.
What's wrong with y'all?
Canelo's when he come back, he's still gonna sell out. They love that man. Canelo has built up a very loyal. Y'all know Canelo been boxing since he was 18 months old. I keep telling y'all that.
Yeah.
He has built a very loyal fan base. Very loyal.
And that's all I've been saying. That's all I've been saying about boxing and like how Turkey threatens the fabric is not saying Turkey himself, because it started before him. I feel like I'm maybe putting too much heat on him particularly. He's just the latest iteration of it. The reason why certain boxers win, lose, or draw, or like when you build your fan base, you can rely on it for decades to come. Look at Mike Tyson. If you build that fan base, there's nothing. You will always be valuable. You can lose 100. You will and we're getting away from that. That's why he's saying you're going away from your major network and your fan base, but this quick check is not going to serve you well in the end.
Yep.
No, it's not. Right now it does. It's a quick, good, short-term decision. In the long
Selling
term,
your value. They sold their value.
It would not help you in the long term. And I feel like that's what Canelo kind of did towards the end. That's why I keep harping on the fact that Cinco de Mayo is one of the biggest boxing days in history, and Turkey all but disappeared the man. And that's why we can't get rid of Pacquiao right now. I want Pacquiao to go away, but we can't get rid of him. Why? He will always be relevant. Why? Because he built that fan base.
Yeah, they love him.
We can't get rid. We can't. Like, we literally can't. Like, he's impervious to the politics.
Wait a minute, real quick. Have y'all heard any more about Floyd Mayweather versus Mike Tyson in Africa?
No, I think he just did that to take attention away from Tank.
Ain't nobody worried about Floyd and no Mike Tyson.
Well, no, but it would have got attention. But I feel like okay, I don't know if y'all remember when he announced it. I think he was doing that. He announced that right. Didn't he announce that right before it was like Tank versus Roach or something? I feel like he announces things right before.
Oh, that was the Jake Paul.
Maybe. I feel like he be petty.
That's crazy. He is too old for that. Go play with your grandson, Floyd.
By the way, I do love the relationship he has with his grandson. You can tell it makes Floyd so happy.
That's the only time I feel like he's genuinely happy. Like when he's
that kid makes his eyes just like lighten. Like you can tell Floyd is an absolute joy with that kid. Like you can tell, and I'm happy that we get to see that because a lot of our boxing legends don't get to experience that. So at that at minimum, like I'm just happy that we get to see that.
Yep, his faculties in order.
Yeah.
Well, we about to close out the show, ladies. I've been on here about 3 hours and 40 minutes. It's 2 cents snowed in for the whole weekend because we got the storm that's about to hit. If you're about to get hit with the storm, if you're in the storm, if you're experiencing the storm, put a snowflake in the chat or put a 1 in the chat. I just want to see who all, you know what I'm saying, kind of dealing with this right now. Because I've been getting prepared all day. Grocery stores packed, shelves empty. It looked like COVID. I'm like, oh my goodness, I hope this don't be as bad as, oh my goodness, just let's get a little cold, stay in for a day or two, and let's be back to normal. I don't need my power to be out for a week and none of that crazy stuff, but I'm definitely prepared. We're going to go around the panel, let everybody get their final 2 cents off. We're going to start with you, Juke. What's your final 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Nothing. It was a great show. Amazing. I had a good time tonight. While I'm trying to deal with my cell phone issues, it was a welcome distraction before I cuss everybody out at Apple. um, I hope everyone is dealing okay with the snowstorm. So, like Key, I think he's in Chicago. So yeah, I'm Chicago too. So even though it is affecting some things for me, like I'm used to it. It is what it is. So I'm gonna be okay with it. But I pray that all of you guys are warm and safe. And by the way, a little quick tip: pipes freeze when it's really cold outside. So let's say your kitchen sink has like the pipes underneath. Open the doors. I know it's like annoying to do. If you have like a sink where the pipes are underneath the cabinets, open those cabinet doors, especially if you have heat flowing throughout the building or your apartment, your home. That will help keep your pipes warm and help the heat circulate so they won't freeze. And on occasion, just go to all of your sinks and just like let some water drip. I ain't saying keep the water on all night, but let it drip to keep those pipes from freezing. Lukewarm water, it doesn't have to be hot, right? Because that can cause a problem. But like lukewarm or cold. So that's just a tip to keep your pipes from freezing. Because a pipe burst is like the worst thing that you ever want to experience. Anyway, boxing wise, I ain't got nothing. I feel like I haven't quite chosen anyone between Miratala and Andy Cruz. For some reason, and maybe I just don't understand Andy Cruz enough. I haven't seen enough. I was gently leaning towards Miratala, but I feel like I should be going towards Andy because I feel like he has a better fundamentals. I just haven't seen enough of Andy, right? So I'm watching tape tomorrow, before the fight. But I am excited for that fight because I want some movement at 135. The Zuffa boxing thing. If I was to find out that I was 1,000% wrong, I would be so happy. I would be happier than anybody in this chat. I would be. I pray I'm wrong. It's just that history and what I read tells me different. We'll see. But other than that, y'all, please hit 2 cents like button, share, repost, hype her videos because she's an amazing channel and it's all I got. Good night, 2 cent. Good night, Key with a T, and I hope y'all have a great evening.
All right, shout out Juke. Thank you for coming up on the panel, Juke, giving your 2 cents for the all women's panel ladies night. Key with the T. Key, that name's sticking. The name's sticking. What's your final 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Y'all good? Y'all can y'all hear me? Good. I hope I'm good.
Key with the T. If she fell off, maybe she got to come back. Well, I hope everybody could stay warm. I'm going to see if Key pop back up so she can give a final 2 cents. I hope everybody stay warm in the storm. Hope everybody got what they need in case an emergency breaks out. This is 2 cents snowed in weekend, so maybe I'll go live tomorrow. Maybe I'll go live Sunday. Maybe I'll go live Monday. Sunday. I'm inside. You know how people be like, I'm outside. I'm inside. I'm inside. So make sure you got your notifications turned on. So when I do a pop-up, you'll get notified and you'll be able to join me so we can talk this boxing. Let's see, Key gonna come back. What y'all saying in the comments? You think Shakur is baby Floyd? Man, I'm telling you, that last winter storm we had, that shit was miserable. Power going out. You know how miserable it is to be cold inside your house? You ever been freezing inside your house? Fully dressed, coat on inside your house because your electricity out? We was sitting in the car in the heat. It was bad. Thomas say, yeah, it was bad. It was bad, man. People was dying. All right, I don't know if Key coming back. My people said they had to nuzzle up together to keep warm. I'm telling you, inside your house, Tom. This is inside your house, though. You feel me? Like, I'm telling y'all, people want to move to Texas because it ain't no state tax. It ain't no state tax, but it is a trauma tax. You will be floods, frozen, burned hot heat to death. Whatever the weather is, you're going to experience it in the most extreme case. Now, we don't get, well, I think up north we do get earthquakes. Up north they get earthquakes. I've never experienced no earthquakes. I don't live in that part of Texas. So we got pretty much everything you could want here. Tornadoes, any natural disaster just about. We don't get tsunamis. We could, though. Galveston's right there. You get what I'm saying? But, you get used to it after a while. But when things like Harvey happen and the winter storm happen, where it's just these catastrophic, once every 200 years events, those stick out in your mind. And they always seem like it just happened. Is that PTSD? But listen, if you don't want your host all in the videos, cussing you out, kicking you off the panel, leaving you in the background, come on over to 2 Cents Boxing, where we talk everything boxing, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
Thank you.